Once again, the heir apparent Chris LaRusso, the greatest professional wrestler across the entire tri-state area, finds himself back at Pitt Greensburg, back at Pitt Fight, and back in the spotlight, exactly where he belongs. Tonight, a 6-man gauntlet match to determine the #1 contender for the Pitt Fight Championship. And yes, there are some fantastic talents in there, but there's one in particular who I've got my eye on because I need a little bit of revenge, and that is you, Lee Moriarty. You embarrassed me in the opening match of Pitt Fight last time, but now, tonight, not only do I get revenge, not only do I prove that I am the heir apparent, that I am the greatest wrestler in the entire area, but I get to put myself right at the top of the championship standings. You are looking at not only the winner of the gauntlet match tonight, but the next Pitt Fight champion.
Tonight, I have to outlast 5 other opponents, or 1 if I enter number 4, in the Greensburg Gauntlet to become #1 contender to the Pitt Fight Championship. And you best believe the master of Tiger Style is gonna do just that. So watch your step and protect your neck.
They brought me to Pitt. Pitt, where all these students are just gonna waste away their degrees, work at fast food, careers that mean nothing to their diplomas. I'm the hard truth. I'm the scared reality. I am the fear they refuse to admit. I am the fear that keeps them up at night. Oh no, you didn't lose sleep due to studying for your finals. You lost sleep due to the reality of the fear that is me. And I'm gonna bring that fear right here to Pitt. I'm gonna run through everybody here. LaRusso, Lee, Lawless, even if he joins in, because Lord knows what he's doing here. I'm gonna become your Pitt champion.
Alma mater, wise and glorious. It's indeed wise and glorious tonight. I return home to my alma mater at the University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg, competing in a 6-man gauntlet match. The odds seem to be against me. I might be the smallest competitor out of all of them, but there's one thing I have. Brains. So I will rise to the top and I will win this gauntlet match and be the next #1 contender for the Pitt Fight Championship. Hail to Pitt.
Once again, the gavel David Lawless has come back to Pitt Fight. And it's an absolute travesty that I have to take this organization to court just to get a match at the building that I built. But tonight, the gavel's been entered #1 in the Greensburg Gauntlet for a shot at the Pitt Fight title, which was wrongfully taken from me by Gory when he cheated by blowing mist in my eyes at the last match. So tonight, the greatest attorney and professional wrestler in America is not only going to show all 5 of the men in the gauntlet match just why Lawless is flawless, but he's going to come back to Pitt Fight at the next show as the #1 contender and the new Pitt Fight heavyweight champion. You're welcome, morons.
When you talk about Pitt Fight, you're talking about some of the best. When you talk about some of the best, you're talking about 6 hungry guys getting in the ring tonight. Yours truly, the Rev Ron Hunt, Chris LaRusso, Christian Noir, Lewis, David Lawless. The list goes on, but one thing is determined. One thing is going to be prophesied. That when it's all said and done, there's going to be one name that is said. Your #1 contender, the Rev Ron Hunt. And you can preach that.
Pitt Fight, back to school beatdown. Before we get the show on the way, I know we already saw the pre-show match. You can see Red to the back. I just want to thank everybody who came out here tonight. I want to thank all my friends today and family who came and helped set up early today, helped dedicate their time, skip their classes, but they don't need to know that. I want to thank every single wrestler, ref, person on the ring crew, everybody here that came to participate for Connor's here tonight. They all deserve a thank you. Give them a round of applause. Most importantly, I want to thank you guys all for coming out. This show wouldn't be a reality without you. So thank you. Before we get anything started too, I want to have a moment of silence. Today is the 2-year anniversary of the tragic passing of Lynn Shad. So, moment of silence, please. Thank you. Now, first order of business tonight. There's the commissioner of Pitt Fight who's going to be crowned tonight. I just received an email from the board of directors at Pitt, Maine. Pitt, Maine? I know it's side, right? So, let's find out for now. Who's it going to be?
No, that is stopped.
It was me. Steel?
First of all, that music should be about 10 times louder, and I didn't quite appreciate the ovation because you should be quiet, you should be on your feet, and you should bask in the excellence that is Benjamin C. Steele. Now it's amazing what a few $100s can do to buy somebody off and get you a roll of power at Pitt Fight. Thank you to the board of directors. Now, because I don't want to have to get physical in here. It won't go well for you. It won't go well for anybody. I'll buy this school. I'll shut it down. I'll turn it into a parking lot, and it'll be way better than anything that's going on right now. Position you're in. These two idiots would have been better than you being in charge. Because I've gone for months since the last Pitt Fight show. Don't mind five that morons. Sorry, Wallace. These two couldn't get it done. I won rest of the day. I won payback for punching me in the face and brass nuts last time. So you're going to give me that tonight, right then? Whoa. Let's not get what we saw enough of that earlier. So I know where I'm doing, guys. So back away. I have a solution. I can't give you regular pay right now, but I do have somebody in the Benjamin C. Steele Rolodex that I can bring up for you. Hit that Italian music, if you please. quit. You know what you want? You want to make $7 an hour. You will never be like me. You go to school. What? I just got this match.
What?
You know what? Hold on, I didn't understand the damn thing you just said. So, look, back to this. I don't care about him. Do I care today or not? Well, as long as there's no other interruptions. Let's make this simple. I came to Pitt Fight for one reason and one reason alone. Bro wants to fight. Bro wants to Bobcat Brawl. So who's getting these hands? First of all, ain't no one's going to come here trying to run their mouth. Well, me and him are just trying to run a nice little wrestling show, but get the hell off of him. I don't care who you are, whether you're Chef or me, or Bodybox over here, ain't nobody going to tell me what to do in my ring. But Pitt Fight does give opportunities. So here's what I'm going to do for you gents right here in the ring. Why don't we have ourselves a nice little triple threat here? Peyton, Mambo, if you guys win, the main event match tonight between Gordy and Raymond. Ernie, if you win, you got your Bobcat Brawl. The last spot in it, as a matter of fact. Can we get a rep here?
As we officially welcome you to the University of Pittsburgh, Greensburg campus. It is Pitt Fight 2, the back-to-school beatdown. My name is Joe Dombrowski, ringside. Soon to be joined by my colleagues who are in the ring, creating some magic in the early going as we are kicking things off with some high stakes at hand here in our second fundraiser for pediatric cancer research and Connor's Cure, which we'll talk all about during the course of this broadcast, and being joined by Cornell Grigsby, by Kyle Harper. Gentlemen, certainly the most auspicious way to kick things off, maybe not the way you had in mind. BC Steel has power, and everybody wants opportunity here.
I don't understand anything that's happening right now, but all I hope for right now is that Brohemus tears these two goons a new one right here, right now.
So to reset this, Peyton Graham and Mambo Italiano both want a shot at the Pitt Fight Championship. The victory could be inserted into the main event later tonight, which will be Gory defending the championship against Remy LeVay. Brohemus has come out and he wants what? The return of the Bobcat Brawl?
Yes, he does. It appears so. So I said if he won, we'll bring it back. And you know what? I gave him the last spot as like a common courtesy sort of thing.
Well, hey, if he's the one that brings it back to prominence, certainly one could say that he would deserve that. Brohemus is an avid video gamer. You can tell by his ring attire. He likes to channel the spirits, the energies, the personalities of many of those video game characters, and it makes him all the more ruthless and all the more aggressive in the ring. But Peyton Graham, the man behind Mayhem Rules, the reason he's so upset, guys, keep in mind, it was down to he and Remy LeVay in the Bobcat Brawl at our first Pit Fight. Remy LeVay emerges victorious. Peyton Graham clearly has not forgotten about that and has his sights set on not just Remy, but that Pit Fight Championship.
No, I'd compare Peyton Graham to my ex-girlfriend as he continues to hold grudges.
Doesn't say much for your ex-girlfriend in a lot of ways. Be that as it may, I hope her beard wasn't as thick, but be that as it may, Cornell, I mean, you were trying to hold your own there and hang tough in the ring with Peyton Graham, who's 280 pounds. I mean, have you thought of what could happen if Peyton leaves tonight, the Pit Fight Championship, and representing your cause?
All I know is that regardless of what happens, I think
quick
tonight,
cover here by Mambo. Peyton interrupts.
I think tonight is going to be a great show, and I have all the confidence in Brohemus to come away with this victory right now. But if, for whatever reason, Peyton Graham were to leave tonight as the Pit Fight champion, he proved to everybody here that he is the better man out of everyone that he stood against.
Well, right now it's Peyton Graham and Mambo Italiano standing tall, 2-on-1 at this point against Brohemoth. A bit of a strange bedfellows between this alliance. Mambo calls himself the only authentic Italian-American professional wrestler going. And I know a couple of guys throughout history named San Martino and DiNucci that might take issue with that, but Mambo's certainly very full of himself. And there's Peyton now for the cover, and Mambo interrupts.
Can we take a minute to talk about Mambo? The reason he is out here, he was never eliminated from the Bobcat Brawl technically. He went under the second rope, and now he thinks he deserves a spot at this because of that.
He was what, chased away, right?
Yeah, because Gambino threw a chair at him because he had basically blindsided him and threw him over the ropes.
Well, I mean, sometimes that karma just follows you when you've got a certain attitude, but interesting to me that Benjamin C. Steele, in just his first minute on the job, gets one of his boys in Mambo an opportunity. How do you feel about that?
I mean, of course BC Steele's trying to get his men some opportunity. I didn't expect anything else. I mean, he bribed his way into this position to try and get them better opportunities. So me and Cornell are going to try our best to not let that get the upper hand of what Pitt Fight stands for.
Oh, one of those wink-wink charitable donations to the main campus, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing that I don't understand, though. I understand where Mambo is coming from. He never got eliminated in the Bobcat Brawl. But if he never got eliminated, then why the hell didn't he run back into the ring and finish the match?
Yeah, he just ran off like a coward.
He did. More importantly, there are no disqualifications in a Bobcat Brawl. So I don't understand why Peyton Graham is upset that he got hit in the face with brass knucks. If anything, Remy LeVay was taking advantage of the situation given to him.
Well, sometimes you're dealing with fragile egos. Quick roll up by Mambo. Peyton gets the shoulder up quickly. I would suggest not to defend Mambo, but it's not that easy to escape a Marshall the Bull beatdown. I've witnessed several over my time and was nearly a part of a couple of them. So, but now we see where the alliance starts to break down. Only one man can win this matchup, gentlemen. Peyton and Mambo have found a common enemy in Brohemoth, but Brohemoth taking advantage of the malfunction in the junction. And now, Big Bro with a takedown.
Wow, what a power move.
And Peyton held onto the head of Mambo, almost a makeshift DDT. Could be a turning point in this matchup. Brohemoth needs some distance, needs some time to shake the cobwebs. Will this be a chance for him to rally back? Speaking of Bobcats, we got a Bobcat right to our left. All the celebrities are out here.
Yep, that's Bruiser himself.
Who let Bruiser out of his cage?
Probably Al. I would say it's most definitely Al.
Bruiser, I remember when he teamed with Crusher up in Minneapolis all those years. Good for him.
Different guy.
Sorry.
Much different guy.
Brohemoth with a splash. Second time. And it's almost a glorified handicap match, but Brohemoth is holding his own.
Oh, double team back at it again.
Yeah. That lung blower, but Peyton catches Mambo with a Death Valley driver.
Quick to remind all of us that triple threat matches are every man for himself, no matter how temporary your alliance is.
Especially with the huge stakes at hand. Could be career-changing. Brohemoth with a senton splash.
Do you think Brohemoth brought an NES to Pitt Fight?
I sure hope he did.
Like, I could just see him like playing some Super Mario Brothers in the back, just waiting for his match, you know?
Well, probably how he warms up. You got to get that hand and arm dexterity going for you, your hand-eye coordination, and Brohemoth that pays off. He's victorious. So Brohemoth has reinstated the Bobcat Brawl.
He has indeed.
Coming up in the spring, the Bobcat Brawl. Brohemoth will be the last man to have a Bobcat Brawl this coming spring.
Well, and this behooves Brohemoth. He has that low center of gravity. He's one of the larger athletes on the roster. How are you going to throw this guy over the top rope? A very calculated decision by Brohemoth to bring back a match he could very well specialize in. And with the luck of the draw in his favor and that size to his advantage, could we be looking at a Brohemoth championship reign in 2020, gentlemen?
It's definitely possible, and I believe he'll turn the Pitt Fight belt into some sort of video game station.
Cornell, your prediction came true. How do you feel? Brohemoth is on the rise in Pitt Fight.
I am a very happy man right now. That is all I can, and that is all I will say.
And we're going to be happy throughout the duration of the night because we're just getting started. More Pitt Fight on the way in a heartbeat.
Are you moving at the speed of business? File transfers, multiple locations, video chat. Companies these days are using more data than ever, and it's got to be fast. With Gigabit Internet from Armstrong Business Solutions, you can keep up with the pack no matter what size your company is. We can provide your business a reliable connection to our advanced fiber optic network with speeds from 100 megs up to 10 gigs per second. Get your business in the fast lane. Armstrong Business Solutions. Your business is our business.
Well, there's a lot of animosity that's brewed between both sides of this matchup for the past 6 months or so, dating back to the inaugural Pitt Fight, and looking to settle some old dues with some well-established area veterans.
By Pitt Fight Commissioner Benjamin C. Steele, and he pulls the body weight of 622 pounds. We have first from Memphis, Tennessee, King of Men, and his partners, representing Golden State International, first penalty from a yacht you definitely cannot afford, Ellen Couture, and his partner, Lady Small resident in Aurora, Florida, is R.P.W. Robert Parker Williams.
Well, we are seeing the results of a BC Steel plan come together in Pitt Fight 1. It was Devin Devine, the King of Men, that was in the corner of Marshall the Bull and Justin Idle. BC Steel in the corner of RPW and Calvin. But Devin was a wolf in sheep's clothing, pulled the old double cross, the old swerve, and cost Idle and Marshall that tag team matchup. And BC Steel got the winner's end of the purse money, got all the glory, and certainly he's picked up right where he left off, outsmarting all of us into a position of power. But all the boardroom power in the world may not be able to save you from these three. Well, when you look at this trio, the first thing that jumps out to me is the technical savvy of Brandon combined with the power of Marshall and Blitz. And the second thing that comes to mind is these three together combined. You're talking nearly 60 years experience in the game. These are some well-traveled veterans. Brandon K, arguably the best singles wrestler in Pittsburgh wrestling over the past 20 years. Marshall, the most decorated tag team wrestler. And QB Blitz, he's done a little bit of everything in his day, and he's partied a lot on his run too. And QB Blitz has got to be, what, well over 300 pounds, Kyle?
Oh, yeah.
He is ready to certainly do some damage. And Calvin, Robert Parker Williams, Devin Devine, they took the money, they liked the prestige, they liked the spotlight, but at what cost in this matchup? Because we got 6 or 7 months of bad blood. And one thing about Marshall the Bull, we talked about what he had done with Mambo. Guys, Marshall doesn't forget a grudge. Why are you pointing at me? Stop. Oh, hi, Calvin.
That's okay. You guys got this.
Those guys are weird.
Yeah. Who wears jackets like that anymore?
I mean, if they want me to join the team, at least pay me.
The big question to ask is who leaves just their goatee and shaves their mustache like that?
Somebody who's made a lot of poor life decisions.
Let me tell you something, Joe. Gambino, I could tell after that last show, was pissed just by the way he threw that chair at Mambo. I mean, you were sitting here. It was just like, whoosh.
That's Marshall when I say hello. I mean, I've never seen him in a good mood unless he's got somebody in pain in front of him.
Marshall throws a chair at you every time you say hello.
And Devin just slapped the taste out of Marshall's mouth, and the mood on Marshall's face changed in a heartbeat, and Devin is clear out of the ring. And Devin's been in the game for close to 2 decades in his own right, calls himself the king of men. He's a former champion everywhere he's been, but just a glare from Marshall drove him out of that ring.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. He called him out earlier in a post on Twitter saying that he was in a cemetery looking for all 3 of their careers. I mean, these are some of the most well-decorated athletes in the area.
Well, we may see a resurrection in this contest. Brandon Kay and Calvin Couture. Cornell, has Calvin given you any fashion advice leading into this event?
I think he's making me jealous of his bow tie, but other than that, I don't really see myself taking any fashion tips from his repertoire.
Probably for the best. Standing side switch by Brandon Kay, representing Rise Wrestling here tonight. A mentor, a trainer from such an early age. Brandon's been somebody you've looked at as a measuring stick in this area. Men like Super Hentai, men like the late great Devil Budokan helped usher in a faster, quicker junior heavyweight type style to Pittsburgh for the very first time. And Brandon does not look back since. 2 count only.
I know Golden Sheik's been a thorn in the side of Brandon Kay at Rise Wrestling for quite some time, so this is a great way for him to get his aggression out on them.
You see Calvin almost find his way in the midst of Marshall and Blitz. Nobody may know how scared he was except for his dry cleaner.
Do you think they spent all the money they made last time on dry cleaning?
Well, if Marshall got a hold of them, they had to get the bloodstains out, maybe.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to find someone in the bottom of the creek after this match today.
Robert Parker Williams. Certainly another man with an inflated sense of self. And we want some QB Blitz.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord.
And straight from the Tri-Chi fraternity here at the University of Pittsburgh, Greensburg, it's Blitz and Robert Parker Williams. And I would hate to be in the grip of the tree trunk known as QB Blitz.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse, all right.
Oh, I don't know if Blitz even realizes how strong he is. This guy is certainly very thick, and Robert Parker Williams tries to move him anywhere he doesn't want to go. He may be in for a rude awakening. Blitz out of the side headlock, elevating Williams. Tackle. When you run into Blitz, it feels like Blitz ran into you.
Joe, earlier you talked about the combined experience of all of the men, counting QB Blitz, Marshall Gambino, and Brandon Kay. I think what you also missed is the combined weight of all these men. I don't think Golden Sheik and Devin Devine have a chance really pound for pound wise against this team.
Oh, well, pound for pound they don't. If Parker Williams is going to get caught into such situations, that's not going to be advantageous. They need to use their finesse. They need to, BC still does not want my advice. That explains where he is in his life. But they have to use their finesse. They have to use their cunning nature. And here comes Blitz, set in by Brandon Kay. Parker Williams is out on his feet. Side Russian leg sweep connects.
Wow, they're just destroying RPW out there.
Shoulders down, 2 count only.
Like, I kind of feel bad for him almost, but my dad just beat him up in the ring, so, you know, I really can't.
Hey, I mean, you try your best to be impartial, and
look at BC Steele putting his nose where it doesn't belong.
I got a feel for you guys, because this is your vision. You guys created this. You guys built this. This is your club here in college, and your vision to raise money for pediatric cancer counters cure. And BC Steele, what RPW cover in the ring, BC Steele sees what you guys built, slips in the back door, and tries to take the glory and spotlight and be in charge now. And I understand if you guys have sore feelings over that. It's only natural.
I understand BC Steele is somewhat of an opportunist himself, and he took an opportunity with bribing the Pitt main directors. But, you know, this is my baby, and, you know, he's causing a lot of mayhem here, and I hope these veterans here cause a lot of mayhem to his team.
Well, BC Steele usually gets his comeuppance sooner or later. I'd love to buy BC for what he's worth and sell him for what he thinks he's worth. Make a big profit that way. Devin Devine choking at Brandon Kay. This is a rivalry Pittsburgh rings have seen a time or two back in the day. Devin Devine, not very active anymore, but certainly, as we mentioned, money talks. Blind tag was made. Marshall the Bull brings himself in. Devin's unaware as Brandon Kay attempts to fight back. And Devin has no idea. And Marshall the Bull, all business, those black gloves, no fingerprints, no paper trail, no evidence. It is strictly business for the Baby Bull.
Marshall mocking Devin there.
And Marshall, you got to love the fact that old habits die hard. Marshall officially retired from the ring in August of 2018, but comes back for Pitt Fight to cannonball Devin Devine.
My goodness, no normal man would be able to withstand that type of impact.
No normal man would hang around BC Steel, but in any event, double clothesline, and Devin taken down. And you know what? You want to talk about it, Brandon into the cover. 2 count. You want to talk about Devin mocking these men's careers being in the graveyard. Brandon K to me is timeless. QB Blitz. He may be a blast from the past in some ways, but he shows he can still go. And Marshall the Bull, man, he was born and bred on this type of fighting, so he is never going to stop. This is certainly great to see, but Devin a reversal. And Brandon finds himself in enemy territory.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. All 3 of these men bleed pro wrestling, and I think no matter how old they get, they're still going to have the stuff for it, and they're always going to bring a beatdown to whoever gets in their way.
Let's replace old with experience.
Experience.
There you go. Age is just a number. Ask Terry Funk, ask Jimmy Valiant, ask a whole horde of them. It's all about how young you feel. It's all about that passion for the business, and that's what drives these men on through so many wars as Calvin has Brandon trapped in the corner. And Devin and Robert Parker Williams getting their licks in on Brandon K. And Marshall's temper being raised, and I think BC Steel was aware of that. Calvin blowing kisses to everybody. Overhead neckmare. Calvin has Brandon trapped. And a 2 count only. And Calvin, he is very flamboyant. He's very eccentric, but he's got a mean streak, absolutely. And you cross him, he'll make you pay for it.
Yeah, he's been known to pop off every now and then. But I just want to take him out. I just realized this. Look at the flowers on Devin Devine's trunks.
Yes.
Do you think Marshall takes that seriously whatsoever?
There's a 2 count, or are you claiming that that's a message? Are you saying that's a metaphor of some sort?
I think it's some sort of statement.
Well, I mean, I think Devin Devine is a master of gamesmanship and mind games. I think Devin Devine is one of those cerebral athletes that loves to beat you before the bell rings. And I think any type of shortcut Devin can find, he'll choose to exploit. And it's Robert Parker Williams exploiting Brandon K right now. Center of the ring, the reverse chin lock. Brandon K trying to use the energy of these fans to will him onward. And Brandon looks to create an opening.
What a knee by RPW there.
Yeah. You can sense that pendulum swing. And here comes the flowered Devin Devine.
You could view the flowers on his tights as like a message where we saw him in the graveyard. Beautiful suplex. We saw him in the graveyard on that promo on Twitter that we saw. Maybe those were the cover here by Devin Devine. Maybe those were the flowers that he wants to put on the metaphorical graves of QB Blitz's, Brandon K's, and Marshall Gambino's careers.
It's very possible. Could be his own sarcastic tribute, his own in memoriam, and Devin would love to be the one to cause the end of these men's careers. Many have tried, and few have succeeded. Technically one, since Marshall the Bull is in official retirement, but certainly we're happy to have him here at Pitt Fight. Tag back into Robert Parker Williams. You see that welt forming on the back of Parker Williams from some of the damage done earlier in this matchup. And Brandon K, again, but notice how Parker Williams positions his own body between Brandon and Brandon's corner to negate a chance of Brandon K finding a tag.
Yeah, they're just trying to take every strategy to make sure Brandon K doesn't get over there.
You isolate one member of the team. You cut the ring off at its hypotenuse. That's a college word, hypotenuse. And you find your way to exploit one man until the gas tank is on empty.
I just don't know if this is going to be too little too late for them, because if Brandon K makes it over there, they're doomed.
There's a cover, 2 count only. Well, and I think they know that. I think that's why they decided to. Oh, Calvin's throwing a tantrum. What is wrong with him?
He needs to go back to school. Obviously, that was 2.
Calvin needs a nap. Needs a nap and maybe some decaf and what, double clothesline. Nobody there. Brandon K. Oh, look the counter. And he got it.
Brandon K always with a strategy up his sleeve. How can he get to the corner?
A great adjustment by Brandon Kay, Calvin and Parker Williams down, the double DDT. It could be do or die for Brandon Kay. Can he find his way to his corner? Brandon may not be where he is right now.
Brandon looking to rally here. Looking to make a tag. Let's see if he can make it.
He found him.
And here comes Marshall Gambino.
You know what they say, Cornell? You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
And we'll see if Marshall can have a receipt for the Devin Devine death sentence as Marshall the Bull, who's rolled off a few carpets and thrown him in a river or two in his time, hits the clothesline. Devin's down, hook of the leg, and Calvin interrupts.
Jeez, look at that.
Right now it's a massacre, but here comes QB.
And Blitz unloading the heavy hands of QB. Blitz taking care of everybody.
I think a better term would be bear paws for QB.
Mid-ring collision. Oh, what a spear.
Good Lord.
Wow. He bent them both in half, basically.
Don't turn your back, Blitz. King of that. Oh, BC Steele's got Marshall. And Devin, miscalculation. BC Steele got it. And Marshall the Bull takes Devin 6 inches from hell. Baby Bull gets the win.
54 seconds. Your winners, the trio of QB Blitz, first class Brandon Kay and Marshall the Bull Gambino.
Well, Brandon Blitz and Marshall avenge BC Steele's machinations from the inaugural Pitt Fight, and goes to show you can talk about careers being dead, putting people out to pasture all you want. When you raise the ire, sometimes there's no excuse and no substitution for experience.
Absolutely. Gambino definitely recruited himself one hell of a team to help him win this match, and they definitely got the upper hand.
Cornell, what are your thoughts?
I'm proud of Brandon Kay, Marshall Gambino, and QB Blitz for the work that they put in here. Not only that, but I'm also looking forward to every other match that's happening later on tonight here at Pitt Fight Back to School Beatdown.
There you go, Marshall, Blitz, Brandon. These fans are happy. I'm sure their families are happy, and we got a lot more to come here at Pitt Fight Back to School Beatdown.
Hunger exists in every county in America. More than 1 in 5 children are at risk. Armstrong continues to create awareness in our communities through Breaking Bread, our initiative to provide resources to food pantries and soup kitchens. Here's how to help. Stop by your local Armstrong office and donate non-perishable food items. Attend special Breaking Bread events held in your area, or volunteer at your local food bank. For more information, visit us on Facebook at Armstrong One Wire and click the Breaking Bread tab.
Oh no.
Oh, it's traffic cones.
Kidding me.
And they put a body weight of 405 pounds. They are the team of OSHA Incorporated. Individually, from Atlantic City, New Jersey, Dustin Wayne. And from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the cornerstone of professional wrestling, Savage. They are also accompanied by Tatiana Rose.
Did you guys do anything to get any violations coming our way? I don't want them coming over here.
God, I did not miss those whistles at all.
My gosh, these guys have been just terrorizing and imposing their will on everybody throughout the tri-state wrestling scene. They got the traffic cones you mentioned. We saw them section off all part of the ring back at the Bobcat Brawl at our inaugural Pit Fight. But won't be that easy to hide this time around.
I don't think so. And right now they're imposing their will on my eardrums.
No kidding. Unfortunately, the foreman, Ronald Starks. One of the worst accidents to happen to professional wrestling in quite some time.
I think we're about to witness an accident here in a few
Oh, no, this will happen on purpose, trust me. And I can't wait.
This isn't an accident. This is a massacre.
I'd love to give Ronald Starks a violation for impersonating a wrestling manager.
I'd love to give BC Steele a violation for bribing his way into the Pitt Fight commissioner position, but here we go.
He's already got fashion violations. Well, the main event, TME, that's M-A-N-E, to any of you new to this. Gannon Jones Jr. is Pro Wrestling's All-Star. Duke Davis is the metahuman. He's touching me. Oh, my God. My traps will never be the same.
Yeah, I think you just cured my scoliosis.
Oh, congratulations.
When did you have scoliosis?
Never.
Duke Davis, Gannon Jones Jr. are two natural athletes. They are about 6'5" and change each. And you wouldn't tell it by how they move, by how they perform, by how they compete. And we got a couple of tag team champions in the ring right now, representing two of the top organizations here in Pittsburgh. Some rare interpromotional warfare you can only see here at Pitt Fight.
Yeah, Duke and Gannon, obviously the IWC Tag Team Champions, and OSHA Incorporated is the Triple Crown Champions over at Fight Society.
There you go, Fight Society, one of the most dangerous places in the world. Fists up, throw down. TME on their third reign as IWC Tag Team Champions. Anything can happen. Two very decorated teams with, let's say, two very different approaches.
Joe, I didn't know if you knew this either, but this is actually a first-time ever matchup.
We're making history tonight, aren't we?
Making some history.
Guarantee you OSHA's going to hope it's the last time they ever have to fight the main event.
Who knows, after this might be the last time they ever fight, period.
Yeah, they may not have a choice. Ronald Starks and Tatiana accompanying Samich and Destin Vane.
Yeah, I thought this was supposed to be a regular tag team match, but now all four of them are in the ring from OSHA.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ronald Starks has a habit of showing up when you least want him to.
And Samich over here trying to square up with Duke. I don't know how well that's going to go over for him.
I prefer my sandwiches triangular, not square.
Yeah. Do you think he has the crusts cut off?
You know what? He seems to have kind of a crusty disposition, doesn't he?
Yep, I would think so.
Duke Davis not impressed. Not that I think you would by somebody named Samich on paper, and Ronald is going to measure Duke Davis.
Yep. Of course he would. I don't know what else we would expect.
Is Duke Davis getting a violation for being too tall?
I think Ronald should get a violation for being too short.
Well, yeah, he's a bit vertically challenged. He's so short, his forehead smells like socks. Duke Davis down to the midsection of Samich. And Davis was not amused by the machinations of OSHA. Again, the mind games trying to get inside the head of the main event, because athletically, this might happen.
I mean, these guys are the living embodiment of traffic. I don't see how anybody could find them in any way appealing.
No, traffic's not that annoying. Duke Davis with a boot. And Destin Vane. My God, he'll wake up in traffic in an ambulance. He'll wake up in traction. And the main event works so well together. Main event originally trained in Fight Society. Branched out their careers from there. OSHA stayed in the home base and dominated things there. Duke and Gannon have won championships for Premier in Cleveland, for Blackcraft, for QCW, I believe. Just at one point, they had 4 sets of tag team championships at once.
It's a lot of gold.
Absolutely. That's a lot of waste to put it on. And Gannon tagged in. Pro Wrestling's All-Star always has that playbook on his forearm. Always looking to plan ahead, and that backbreaker connects flush on Samich. And if we're talking about a physical mismatch, the main event are exploiting that in a big way.
Wow, he's going to break his spine here in about 10 seconds. This looks
Kyle,
like
what do you think would break first, his spirit or his body?
probably both at the same time.
Good input.
Cornell, this looks like something straight out of Mortal Kombat right here. I don't see this going in any way, shape, or form good for OSHA.
Some sick part of me kind of wants to see a fatality right about now.
Especially the whistle. Please, someone kick away the whistle.
Yeah, well, somebody may be swallowing that whistle before we're all said and done.
And Tatiana fanning sandwich, but he's caught by Duke, it appears, and Duke is not a happy camper.
Oh, Sandwich set clear across the ring. The power of Duke Davis makes it look effortless. He is the metahuman because he does things that other people just cannot. It just defies logic. It defies explanation. Duke Davis is a physical anomaly in every way.
Exactly. I mean, look at both of these guys. They're towering over all of the members of OSHA. They would have to fight piggyback to even compare to their size.
Oh, good Lord, what a kick.
Sandwich got punted.
That field goal is definitely good.
There's a cover. 2 count only. And yeah, size advantage certainly very apparent. I think they've taken pills bigger than Ronald Starks. And Sandwich is in a bad way at this point in time, and Starks grabs the foot.
That was a bad idea, Starks. Oh, now.
Yeah, maybe the last thing he ever does. Starks may get launched up to the balcony. What happened there? Sandwich takes advantage of the chop block, but OSHA dividing and conquering, and Gannon taken down. Looks like the plan of OSHA Inc. worked perfectly.
I think Gannon's knee brace might just be a big shining target for them right now.
Without question, history of knee problems on Gannon Jones Jr. as Destin Vane tagged in. Destin, a young veteran in his own right. Controlling Gannon Jones Jr. Destin probably about 6'3". Deceptively large man. And another chop block to Gannon, who's taken down. Will this be enough? Shoulders down for 1. Mark of a champion to get off your back as quickly as possible.
And Destin's really going at that knee.
And Sandwich back in.
I hope they give themselves a violation for brutalizing this man. I mean, they're just trying to destroy his leg at this point.
Oh, well, I'm sure in their mind they can do no wrong.
Of course.
But it's sound strategy. I mean, we talk about the size discrepancy throughout this matchup. OSHA has negated that size advantage. You're not 6'5" when you're flat on your back or you're laying on your stomach. And this brings Gannon within certainly striking reach. And if they can keep Gannon down, potential pinfall, potential submission here, who knows what damage can be done.
Oh, no.
Great elevation by Sandwich as you can see Duke Davis inching, reaching, looking for his partner. Can Gannon get there in time? And Sandwich cuts him off with a pass.
Now just pummeling him right there in the ring.
Certainly the aggression, the urgency that OSHA possesses is very apparent. Handful of hair.
Not the hair. Gannon's hair is beautiful.
Well, I'm sure it's the last thing on Gannon's mind at this point.
Maybe Sandwich is just jealous because he doesn't have any hair on his head.
Man, you're vindictive over there.
Cornell hasn't been happy since BC Steel walked out.
I haven't been happy since I met BC Steel 15 years ago, but in any event, maybe we'll get Cornell and BC Steel in maybe a tuxedo match or something.
Tuxedo and a pole match.
Okay, that's a very strange list of stipulations, but we'll go with it. Duke Davis trying to get in the ring.
Sounds like you've been watching too much WCW, Kyle.
Bro, it's about ratings. But Destin Vane looking to manipulate Duke Davis and raise his ire.
Oh, Gannon's got his hands on Destin. Looks like he might have. Oh.
Again, an offensive explosion.
What a drop kick that was. Destin thought he had the upper hand there, and then Gannon just went and turned it right around on him.
One felt swoop, amazing vertical leap by Gannon Jones Jr. Now, Gannon reaching for Duke, but again, gentlemen, Destin was there.
Seeing the main event wrestler really makes you wonder how men their size move the way they do.
They're freaks of nature, without a doubt. They're the exception of the rule. They are not your stereotypical big men. They can do it all, or at least they could. Sandwich is negating much of that here. Deep hook of the leg for 2. Again, it's up on top of Sandwich. Sandwich's momentum almost worked against him, cost him the match. And Gannon has an opening. He's reaching. Wait a minute. Oh. Starks just pulled Duke Davis off the corner as Gannon was inching closer. And Ronald Starks is hiding behind the tougher of the two, Tatiana.
I don't know.
And as a result, gentlemen, Duke missed the tag when Gannon was available. Now Sandwich recovers. All for OSHA getting involved, and now it's Destin Bain with the whistle.
You know the phrase poke the bear? That's exactly what Ronald Starks did right there, and it's not going to go well for him in the end. Like, look how mad Duke is now. If he gets in that ring, he's going to destroy all of them.
Without question, and that only behooves OSHA to try all the harder to neutralize this all-star professional wrestling. Destin Bain can be very measured, very calculated. Say what you want about the whistle, the violations. He's been around a long time, and he's survived some very disadvantageous situations. As Destin, this may be the worst!
Wow.
Gannon with a sidewalk slam.
Just when I thought Gannon's leg was about to give up by how much abuse it suffered in this match, he pulls an amazing move like that.
Again, another example of how these two are not normal men.
Now, you notice that Gannon didn't put a lot of weight on that leg, kept it moving, kept himself in rotation, but look how far away Gannon is from Duke. Can he make it on time?
Just gonna crawl over there. He's got a spider walk essentially over to Duke, who's went, oh, and they got it.
Duke Davis is in!
And he is mad.
Metahuman explodes!
Duke Davis looking fired up. Here the whistle's on the canvas. Into a beautiful power slam.
And Duke went for a cover. Destin Bain gets involved. And Duke is a man on an island right now. He knows that Gannon is of no help at this point. He's seriously hurt. And now the numbers game catching up to Duke. Tamikaze by Destin Bain.
Yeah, I feel like with OSHA, pinfall here on Duke.
And this could be it. No, Gannon's up.
I feel like OSHA, it's like a Hydra's head. Every time you try and knock one down, 2 more come in its place.
Ronald Starks just feels like that many people. He's that annoying. Oh, look out! A meeting of the mindless. And it's Destin Bain to the floor. And Sandwich is in the ring with Duke Davis. Gannon checking that playbook. Shouting instructions.
Oh, he's about to take Sandwich for a ride.
Oh, can Gannon's knee handle this? In with the stomp!
And there's your answer. Yes, it can.
And wait a minute, Destin pulling Sandwich out of the ring. And OSHA needs to regroup. OSHA may need restaffed after this. There's bodies everywhere.
Gee, Sandwich doesn't even look like he knows where he is right now. He got stomped so hard.
And Destin is motioning for a huddle here.
There's no timeouts in wrestling. We went over this last time.
Wait a minute. There's no timeouts, but there might be a walkout.
There might be a count out here for victory for the main event, but I don't think that's what anyone wants to see right now.
Well, the main event are waiting impatiently, but OSHA's taking a walk.
Wow.
10 minutes, 19 seconds.
TME the victory. Maybe not how they wanted it, but at the very least a moral win. At the very least the satisfaction of, oh man, we may not be done.
Hope they hightailed it out of there before they realized Ronald Starks is still out here.
Oh. At least the entity that used to be Ronald Starks. Drop kick, spine buster, good night. Oh my gosh. It's going to be a long time before Ronald Starks is healthy enough to go back to that tree and make those cookies.
Man, he's going to make those other Keebler elves look very sad.
The main event, get the victory. First time ever, champions versus champions. OSHA want to know more of the main event. Cannon and Duke stand tall.
Not long ago, this is what it meant to have TV everywhere. The idea of taking your favorite shows and movies with you everywhere was a dream. It was an impossibility. Not anymore. You're mobile. Now, so is your TV. TV Everywhere gives you access to the programs you love. And the best part? It's included free with your Armstrong subscription. Simply verify your Armstrong subscription on your favorite channel's app or watch on ArmstrongOneWire.com/TVE. Your content, your way, whenever you want it. Armstrong. Life made easy.
Well, the Greensburg Gauntlet moments away. As Hank Hudson said, it's a fight to the finish. That's a good place to end. I agree with that. But big stakes at hand for the winner here, Kyle, right?
Yep, they get a shot at the Pitt Fight Championship at the next show. They become the #1 contender. Oh, we got a Power Ranger out here.
From Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing 230 pounds. Here's the Devil, David Lawless.
We have a judge/lawyer Power Ranger. We got a little bit of everything covered right now. But, gentlemen, with how intense and competitive the championship scene is becoming here at Pitt Fight, certainly whoever wins this matchup of the 6 that are involved in this gauntlet has a daunting task no matter who comes out of tonight, the Pitt Fight champion. What do you say, Cornell?
I'm still just amazed by the Green Ranger gear that he's got on right in front of me. I cannot believe anything that's happened. I don't put anything past anybody here at Pitt Fight anymore.
You're mesmerized.
You could say that.
You're jealous.
Definitely not. Oh. I like the suit I have on now.
You are quite spiffy looking.
Plus, he likes the blue Power Ranger, not the green one.
I'm more of a black Power Ranger guy myself, but he ranks up there.
Well, now that we know whose team everybody's on, let's find out who drew the short straw to have to start out the beginning of this gauntlet with David Lawless. And it will be 5 individual one-on-one contests with the order at random draw.
From the French Quarter, Louisiana, weighing 200 pounds. Here's the Bayou Scarecrow, Christian Noir.
Well, Christian Noir brings an unpleasant and unsettling mood into whatever arena he is in, and certainly it's tough to pinpoint exactly what frame of mind he is at any given point. The ominous face paint, he has a noose around his neck, and David Lawless, yeah, he made the right move. He's clear on the outside of the ring. He's practically in the parking lot at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Halloween came early here for Pitt Fight. I can definitely say that.
Hey, when you're Christian Noir, Halloween's every day of the year. But it will not be a festive occasion for David Lawless to try to figure out how to counteract that. I don't think the Power Rangers ever saw anything quite like Christian Noir.
No, that wasn't in their budget to write that good of a villain.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen, these two have the longest odds. If either of these two men are going to get a Pitt Fight championship shot, they have to win 5 matches in a row. And with the level of competition we have in this matchup that we'll meet as we move on here in the gauntlet, that's going to be a very daunting task. Do you guys think that, how do you guys stack the odds for either of these athletes?
I definitely believe that the odds are stacked against them, but if anything, I'd have to give the edge to Christian Noir in this match. I believe that his absolute brutality, as I've seen in many of his matches, will give him an edge against David Lawless.
Cornell, I agree with your point, but with one thing. Lawless is a lawyer, which means he always has a trick up his sleeve. We saw him compete at the last show in the Fatal 4-Way for the initial Pitt Fight Championship, and he tried to take advantage of every situation.
Hi, gentlemen. Hello, Peyton Graham.
Okay, well, Peyton Graham is here, and
I have a lot of interest in this match.
You do have a lot of interest in this match. Well, we didn't expect you out here, but we thank you for being here. Peyton, you have made it very clear your intentions and what you would like to have happen, but you were unsuccessful earlier with Brohemoth and Mambo Italiano. Where does that leave you with your cause right now?
My cause, Joe? Well, it's this fine gentleman right here. Am I allowed to touch you, sir?
Go for it.
This fine gentleman next to me here made it perfectly clear to me, and the gentleman to your left, that if I didn't win my match, I couldn't get my shot at Remy LeVay in the main event. But,
Yes.
Joe, there's always a plan B, as they say, correct?
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
So I'm interested in this gauntlet. I want to see who's going to challenge either Remy or Gory, because there's always a plan B, Joe.
I understand.
So I'm trying to look on the brighter side of things than that.
Okay, well, I mean...
So you let me worry about my plans, and let's enjoy this gauntlet, okay?
I'm going to try my best to enjoy myself,
Okay.
all right.
And again, I'm sorry about earlier, sir.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings so bad that you had to come out to the commentary.
I, again, just wanted to see this great match to you guys.
Peyton, what?
You have all the other seats in the building, and you choose right behind us.
Well, he gets a microphone here.
Peyton, if you got any issues out here, I mean, I understand that you're not a big fan of Colin Cornell, but I mean, you could take this up with BC Steel. You could schedule a meeting later. I mean,
do you understand? You can't find BC Steel. He's nowhere to be found, Joe. He literally got to the back, came out with his guys, and disappeared. Nobody has seen him all night.
Oh, no.
He literally ran off with the money. You guys might want to check your
with
cash
the money.
box.
Wait a second.
You guys might want to check your cash box. You know who BC Steel is?
Oh.
He's worse than Marcus Mann.
Short arms and deep pockets, for sure.
You know him better than anybody here,
Unfortunately, I do,
Well,
yeah.
that's your fault.
But
Well-
back to this match.
Yeah.
Can we focus on the match?
All due respect to Christian Noir and David Lawless, and we have 6 very talented men who will be competing in this matchup, and Noir is very unorthodox and certainly will do anything it takes to win. It's hard to argue the deservedness of anybody in this matchup. Noir is marching to the beat of his own drum, and many people, though, gentlemen, say that Lawless is flawless.
Yeah, I mean, Noir has definitely taken Lawless to town here. I mean, you can see the makeup that has been smeared all over his face. But like I said earlier, Lawless always has a trick up his sleeve. And don't seem surprised if he has some sort of strategy for this at the end.
2 count only. Of course, standard rules apply. You can be eliminated via pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification in this contest. And again, the luck of the draw will be so pivotal. Whoever's coming in number 6 has that edge. But what is the strategy for these early matches? I mean, you want to think about conserving strength, because if you're going to achieve your goal, you need to have 5 matches, but you can't hold back or else you're going to get eliminated.
Exactly. It's an endurance. I mean, it definitely is. You have to conserve your strength while trying to destroy your opponent's strength at the same time. So it's just trying to the equilibrium of both of them.
And it's Noir now who connects with a clothesline. Lawless is down, count of 2. And I can't help but feel uncomfortable knowing over my shoulder is about 260-plus pounds of bad attitude, Master Mayhem Peyton Graham, with a very stern look in the ring, and I hope he maintains his composure out here, but we will see what fate may bestow the winner of this. We may have an impromptu 7th match at this point, or 6th match, I should say.
Yeah. Speaking of uncomfortable, did you see the tongue flicking that just occurred in the ring a couple seconds ago?
I did. I really didn't have an interpretation of that other than mind games, gamesmanship, Christian Noir being weird as Christian Noir does. But yeah, I mean, not something you see in the courtroom very often, is it?
No. Well, I hope not. That'd be kind of a weird court case.
I think most people are probably used to it, considering the fact that Christian's been flicking his tongue since he got out here.
You've been zeroing in on the tongue, haven't you?
Listen.
There's something you need to tell us, Cornell?
I don't think so.
Well,
okay.
He's already been touched by Peyton. He's been through enough. David Lawless battling his way out of the corner. Notice Lawless used his free leg to drop his trapped leg to negate Noir's momentum. Lawless tries to land on his feet. Great adjustment. Pace quickens, and an in-ring collision.
That was a crazy double clothesline we just saw. Both men seem incapacitated at this moment.
You think about the repercussions that this one match has on the rest of the gauntlet. If both of these men look completely exhausted, I don't think this bodes well for either of these competitors.
Certainly not, but that is the luck of the draw. Hey, we could have a double count out and eliminate both guys.
That'll definitely be more opportune for the people in the back, but I don't think that's going to be the case as both men to their feet. Lawless seems to... What a drop kick that was.
Well, both these men have held the top championship in respective organizations. Nice swinging neck breaker by David Lawless. Drops the leg. And covered. Oh, half a count away from the elimination of Christian Noir.
Lawless also kind of bribed his way into this match. He sent us a court order from the Westmoreland County judge saying that if we didn't put him in this match, he was going to sue the university.
You let a lot of guys take advantage of you, don't you?
Hey,
a lot of manipulation going on.
Hey, we're going to need to get lawyers for the club next. We're going to put that in the budget, Cornell.
We should tell Vaughn that he's our treasurer.
Lawless with the cover. 2 count and no. I'm just happy to see Lawless chasing the championship. Usually the only thing he's chasing is an ambulance. Couldn't put away Christian Noir at that point in time, though.
I don't know if taunting Christian Noir is exactly the best strategy.
And there you see an adjustment, the Samoa drop by the man from the Bayou into the cover, near fall situation.
This is really taking a toll on both of these men already. We still have 4 more competitors to come out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a marathon. This is going to be a war of attrition. Who wants it most? I mean, the best champions in history of our industry, you think back to the legendary names, they could go 45, 60, 90 minutes if they needed to. That may be the case here tonight. Lawless adjusts and comes through with a high kick. Is this enough? No. My goodness. Lawless getting frustrated. Lawless is used to being the judge, jury, and executioner. He does not like being told no.
I mean, it's hard to execute the supernatural that we see in this ring right here.
Yeah, a little bit of that Bayou black magic, a little bit of that that voodoo experience coming into play, perhaps. At the very least, it's a mind game, if nothing else. And Lawless able to switch from behind. Noir has hold of the official for leverage, and there's another form of leverage underneath Lawless. Cutter connects. Will this be all? Noir on top, and David Lawless is gone.
Noir moving out. Let's see who's coming out next.
The winner of leg number 1, Christian Noir. He will remain in the ring to face this next randomly selected competitor.
We'll see who drew number 3. Oh, I know that music. It's the cult sensation.
New Jersey, Massachusetts, weighing 160 pounds. He is the Lightweight Lewis.
Some call him a lovable loser. Some call him an overachiever. Lewis, the white nerdy one, is number 3, and what a Cinderella story it would be if Lewis becomes number 1 contender. And Noir's got his own problems out here with Bruiser.
That's going to cause problems. Lewis, of course, a graduate of Pitt Greensburg, so I don't think he's going to take too kindly to Noir insulting his mascot like that.
No, we saw Lewis out here at Pitt Fight 1 bravely face the main event in tag team action. We know that he is not afraid of anybody. We know he won't back down from a challenge. We know Lewis, he's got more guts than brains. He's got a hell of a lot of brains to begin with. So Lewis has a lot going for him in this matchup, and perhaps the surprise factor, because I don't think Christian Noir expected Lewis.
No, I mean, that beginning match with Lawless took a lot of Noir, so Lewis could easily capitalize on a situation here, and it looks like he's going to right now.
Yeah, Lewis not wasting any time. He knows that Noir's been through a hell of a fight, and he's got to take advantage before Christian can rest up and catch a breather.
Christian looking to regroup and collect his thoughts. And Lewis, the nerve was on him like white on rice. And look at this, double axe handle right across the dome of Christian Noir.
And Lewis is unorthodox. Lewis does things in a very Lewis type of way. There's really no other way to put it. But what a stark contrast of personalities here, gentlemen. I don't think Lewis has ever studied the dark arts of voodoo.
No, I don't think that was one of the things required for his major.
Swinging through with a tiger feint kick. And Lewis faraway look in his eyes. He got caught flush.
Amazing show of athleticism here from Christian Noir. Can he capitalize?
But also an amazing pink tie from Lewis.
That is true.
Oh, my God.
Did he bite him or lick him?
I'd
Little of both.
rather not know.
Gotcha. All the above for Christian Noir. Nothing's off limits. And Noir looking to slow this down and dictate the pace and control Lewis. And there's that pink tie you alluded to being used against Lewis.
Not the tie. That's such a nice looking tie. Why would he try and ruin it? And also his neck in the process.
Yeah, not necessarily in that order. Well, Noir mocking many of these fans here tonight that go to University of Pittsburgh, Greensburg through the glasses of Lewis.
Now we can't see either.
Oh. The backbreaker into the cover, 2 count only, and certainly Lewis with the pink tie, you got to believe is representing breast cancer awareness, another great cause. And of course tonight's an amazing cause, pediatric cancer research as part of Connor's Cure in conjunction with that great organization started in the name and the honor of WWE Hall of Famer, Warrior Award recipient Connor the Crusher Mahalik, who certainly was a brave fighter for all 8-some years of his life. And certainly Triple H, Stephanie McMahon are very involved in this charity and this cause. And it's great to see the wrestling community, you guys, all these people here come together to support that as well, because certainly pediatric cancer is an opponent that we'd all love to see defeated in the near future.
Exactly. We're trying to get this one step closer to making pediatric cancer tap out.
Couldn't agree with both of you more, as Christian Noir went for a senton, but nobody home.
Yeah, I don't think Lewis is going to tap out anytime soon. He's going to get his peepers, though.
It's probably a good idea. It's good for seeing. Speaking of seeing, Peyton Graham's still back here.
Yeah, I could hear him and sense him breathing down my neck. I'm afraid to look at him. He's very intimidating. But Lewis right now hammering away with the double sledges, follow through with the strike, the clothesline. Oh, Noir. There's that deceptive nerd strength, and Lewis able to send Noir head over heels.
That's the thing I love about Lewis. Everything he does is calm. It's calculated. It's thought up 3 steps ahead before anything else.
Is there anything about Lewis that you can't love? He's just a lovable guy.
I mean, yeah.
So innocent, loves to have a good time, loves to wrestle. Noir, not so much.
No.
Noir loves to hurt people. Noir loves to freak you out. Sunset flip. Oh, great job by Lewis. Lewis is going to get him. Oh. And drops down with a low blower. Lewis is stringing the offense together. Can he win on his home campus? Lewis eliminates Noir.
What an amazing moment for Pitt Greensburg right here.
Oh, how fitting would it be if Lewis
randomly selected competitor
could become Pitt Fight champion here in the campus that he once called his own and is a proud alum of.
That would definitely be great for the whole campus and the campus community. He would definitely hype it up, just like he did hype up his fans when he was here as a student.
But now the nerd faces the king.
Introducing, coming off Puna, Pennsylvania, weighing 190 pounds, is the heir apparent, Chris LaRusso.
Well, Chris LaRusso comes to the ring. We saw him at Pitt Fight last year kick us off, the very first matchup in Pitt Fight history. And what just happened, gentlemen? Peyton Graham got up and he left.
Yep.
He helped Noir over the guardrail. Noir is walking out the far exit. Peyton Graham has left towards the other side. LaRusso sent into the ring. This matchup progresses.
A lot of weird things just happened.
Yeah, I mean, he's off my back. I'm happy about that. But Chris LaRusso is a former multiple-time champion, was recently premier champion in Cleveland up until this past month. Held, I believe, 3 championships at once. IWC Tag Team Champion. I believe he was the first champion of Imagine Wrestling. Look out!
Chris LaRusso, also a graduate of Pitt, but as he'll tell you, he went to the Pitt main campus. So,
and he thinks that makes him better than all of you guys, right?
Of course he thinks that.
Just because we're a branch campus.
Oh. LaRusso finds a way to convince himself he's better than everybody, trust me. But LaRusso backs it up. He's fluent in many combat styles and martial arts. He's a student of the game, and he's the most cerebral athlete in this entire building. He can outsmart you. He can beat you with your mind before you even enter the building, and using that necktie again as an offensive weapon. And LaRusso just exudes confidence out of every pore in his body.
Yes, he does, and he's not afraid to tell you all the accolades he has won over the years.
Well, he calls himself the heir apparent because he thinks all of this is his. And all this isn't just Pitt Fight. It's independent wrestling. It's every company in Pittsburgh. It's every athlete in Pittsburgh. They're all going to have to bow before him and acknowledge his greatness.
Well, when Lewis dodging out of the way and with a chop of his own.
Crowd chanting nerd.
Oh. Russo not afraid to silence the nerd, though, either, it seems.
Not at all. It's up to LaRusso, and great hang time, that vertical leap on that leg drop. It's up to LaRusso. I think Lewis will be hanging from a flagpole by his underwear by the end of this match. There's a cover near fall.
And I hope we don't see another wedgie. Main Event gave Lewis a wedgie at the last show, but he cleverly snipped the underwear. So I'm hoping maybe he'd claim that again, because Chris LaRusso is a little bit of a bully himself, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take that advantage.
Hashtag cleverly snipped the underwear. First time in commentary history that's been uttered.
See, I believe that Lewis the Nerd had gotten so many wedgies, he just built up a tolerance to the point where it didn't affect him. But I
have a lot of anatomical follow-up questions that I'm not going to get to you on the air with, because that has a lot of ramifications, but so does that back elbow. Lewis with a chance.
Lewis definitely taking it to LaRusso here. He wants that Pitt Fight belt. He wants to be the hometown hero here at Pitt Greensburg.
Absolutely. Cornell, what if he goes from wedgie to hero? What a turnaround that could be.
That would be a great turnaround, especially at his home campus as he kips up and looks at LaRusso dead in the face.
And Lewis, he's feeling no pain right now. I haven't seen him this pumped up since the last Star Trek convention. Big boot.
Man, Lewis is definitely going to put this on his resume after this.
With an extra large font.
Maybe in italics, too.
It would give us some nice publicity as well.
Well, Lewis wants support from this crowd, but don't take too much time, young man. We saw the big boot. We saw the leg drop. Is that enough? Oh, LaRusso says that doesn't work for me, brother, and counters out of the attempted code breaker.
Well, LaRusso is a veteran in the ring in his own right.
Oh, what a thrust kick.
My goodness, is this enough to put Lewis the Nerd away?
He got all of it.
And it is.
There goes his windpipe.
The winner of leg number 3, Chris LaRusso.
I noticed LaRusso looking at the ringside fans.
Face the next randomly selected competitor.
LaRusso looking at these Greensburg campus fans and just rubbing it in their face the whole time. Well, LaRusso feeling pretty good about himself right now. Oh yeah, LaRusso seen a ghost!
Introducing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 80 kilos, he is Tiger Style
Tiger Style, I believe, a variation of Kung Fu Do, and Lee Moriarty, the apex of combat, explodes with a springboard clothesline. And we're going full circle, gentlemen. This is how we kicked off Pitt Fight some months ago.
They say that those who don't learn from their history are doomed to repeat it, and it looks like Lee Moriarty is trying to prove that lesson to Chris LaRusso with these furious kicks. My God.
Yeah, this is a ghost of Christmas past for LaRusso that's been haunting him for years.
And Lee Moriarty drew a great number as well. He's feeling confident Gory Guerrero special into the cover. That was almost it. And what does LaRusso have left after Lewis, and how much does Lee Moriarty have to give? And listen to this crowd come alive to the apex of combat. Oh, LaRusso kicked the rope. It looked like it caught the hamstring of Lee. And into the DDT.
LaRusso just mad now. I mean, Lewis gave him a run for his money, and he knows he has to take advantage. Quick pinfall there. LaRusso knows he got to take advantage of Lee early because he's just a ball of energy in general.
Oh, without a doubt. Lee Moriarty completely changed the entire tempo of this gauntlet match, this Greensburg gauntlet, when he came in. I noticed LaRusso once again trying to slow things down, make that a methodical pace.
Yeah, LaRusso's got to keep Lee grounded because Lee is known for his high-flying acrobatic style.
You know what? To me, Lee's one of the most versatile, well-rounded athletes anywhere in this area. There's not much that Lee can't do. But Chris LaRusso loves more than anything being in control. And as LaRusso sends Moriarty to the outside, if LaRusso dictates how this match develops, it'll be advantage heir apparent.
Ooh. And a meaty chop here from LaRusso. And Moriarty looking to deliver one of his own.
Lee Moriarty turns things around. Sometimes LaRusso's exalted head gets him in a lot of trouble.
Lee's just taking it to the chest of LaRusso, and LaRusso slamming the head of Lee into the side of the ring there.
Desperation by the heir apparent. And LaRusso, notice every time LaRusso does something, things just come to a sudden halt. LaRusso stops, resets, and takes over as he wants.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The crowd is not behind LaRusso right now because he just killed their hero. He killed Lewis in this match.
No. Apparently one of them has a really ugly mom. LaRusso back in the ring.
I think LaRusso's slow-paced style is definitely more beneficial towards him, keeping Moriarty grounded, keeping him where he needs him to be. Like you said earlier, Joe, if LaRusso can keep things the way he wants it, he might seal this one and might become the next #1 contender for the Pitt Fight Championship.
Yeah, we only have one guy left to come after this, guys. I mean, we're near the home stretch as Lee with an uppercut. And, LaRusso, that back elbow. I mean, Lee brought the energy, but LaRusso's bringing the poise. Gentlemen, is there one of these men you're favoring over the other at this point?
I mean, at this point, LaRusso's kind of acting like the homecoming king who threw all the ballots in for himself. So, I mean, I'm kind of in it for Lee at this point. He killed Lewis. He, took his windpipe out, essentially. Lee was kind enough to give him his headphones on the way out, but Lee needs to take this one.
Well, I mean, he needs it. He wants it. LaRusso, what a play. Spoiler! LaRusso, the recipient of the uppercut.
Cornell, who are you feeling? Which one of these two would you rather see be the #1 contender?
Oh, who would I rather see? I'd try to be objective, sir. But I'll tell you what, I think Lee is coming with a ton of momentum. And he caught LaRusso with that high knee. And LaRusso on the defensive. But there's no escaping Lee Moriarty. He's taking missile. And LaRusso may have hit his head on the guardrail on the way down.
Definitely not favorable for LaRusso as Moriarty looks to rally. Looking to end this one here.
Oh, another swift kick. Here comes the...
Yeah, it's spin kick, connected and fall, but not enough.
A near fall.
And you can see by Lee Moriarty's body language just how bad he wants it.
I mean, Lee's been through, at the first match, he pinned Chris LaRusso, so he wants to prove himself here by doing it again and going further with it to try and better himself and become the #1 contender.
Yeah. Will lightning strike twice, or has LaRusso learned from his past? LaRusso picks the leg.
Looking for an ankle lock here potentially, and he sticks it in.
Again, you take away that vertical base, you take away that agility. Lee's just like any other man. Lee could tap away this title shot.
Lee with a reversal here, and LaRusso with a super kick. And he hits him with a second one. Could this be enough to put Moriarty away?
LaRusso knows how tough it is to keep him down, and that's still not enough. And LaRusso is in shock.
LaRusso was 1 second away from advancing at a shot at becoming the #1 contender for the Pitt Fight Championship, but he's probably wondering now, what does he have to do to put Moriarty away?
And Moriarty jumped up out of there. LaRusso definitely wasn't expecting that. He thought he had him down for the count. And he thinks he's going to put him away here.
Looks for a third time's a charm.
Moriarty caught on.
Lucha-style counter into a forward bridge. Moriarty almost traps his shoulders, and a seamless transition. Stacks him up. Has him. Lee eliminates LaRusso. Chris LaRusso.
The final member of the Gauntlet.
Chris LaRusso 0-2 against Lee Moriarty in Pitt Fight, and we are 1 step away from crowning our next top contender.
What I think about Jesus, what he's done in me. When I talk about Jesus, how he set me free, I guess.
Representing the Jesus Club, and accompanied to the ring by Steve Mercer and the chosen Samoan is Jay Alexander. We have help from the great God Almighty himself, weighing 250 pounds. It's the savior of professional wrestling,
Wait a minute, LaRusso! LaRusso, a cheap shot to Lee Moriarty, and the Rev Ron Hunt, who in my opinion is the biggest blasphemer in the room, but hides behind this Jesus Club, hides behind religion to do whatever the hell he wants without any explanation or any consequence. I don't think Ron Hunt represents any of the religious folks out there watching this. I think Rev Hunt represents himself and nobody else.
Yeah, I mean, he's out here with his heretics spreading their false religion around here. And I mean, Rev killed a guy earlier tonight. Like, he destroyed him, and he's out for blood. He told me himself.
You're a fan of talking about death over there, aren't you? You've been morbid this broadcast.
Very loose with the word kill. I think you need to read a dictionary to find out what that word actually means. I know you're an English major and all.
Does he have some like deep-rooted psychological issues I don't know about? I know AJ Alexander does, because he's going to illegally choke Lee Moriarty. Zeke Mercer's out there, and you know what? The Rev's going to tell him, oh, that's okay. It's the Lord's will. Jesus would have wanted you to do it. We're doing his work. He's more like a cult leader than a religious leader.
I believe Rev, much like everybody else, believes probably in a sense of relativity, where he believes that he's right. And I think everybody, in a sense, believes that they're right. But Rev especially has a very heightened ego compared to most normal men.
I think everybody thinks that they're right, and I think everybody else can agree that the Rev is wrong. There's a cover, 2 count only.
I mean, in Rev's mind, he probably thinks that Lee's going to get blessed by letting Rev go over on him. But, like, that's not the case here. Lee wants this Pitt Fight belt more than anybody. He got over on one of his most arch nemesis, LaRusso.
Easy there, inside baseball. Rev Ron Hunt. Now, again, you can't force somebody to support you. You can't force somebody to cheer in your favor.
Not with that.
Who's he yelling at? He's yelling at Bruiser. What did Bruiser do? Now he's sad. Cornell, go hug him.
I'll stay right here. Comfortable right where I am. But Moriarty looking very uncomfortable. He takes a neck breaker.
Look at Cornell learning segues. There's a cover, 2 count only. Lee gets up. Now, Lee has brought a lot of energy and excitement into this matchup, gentlemen. The Rev has brought a lot of manipulation and selfishness. We have the yin and the yang in this ring, and we have a championship shot in the balance. It's going to come down to these 2, gentlemen.
The only thing that I'm really worried about is the 2 guys outside the ring. I hope they don't get involved in this matchup in any way.
Well, they already have.
You've watched wrestling before. You know exactly what's going to happen.
We've watched wrestling before?
I hope so. I mean, we put on a whole wrestling show.
That's a good point.
Well, Rev, textbook suplex. Rev's watched a thing or two in his day. He's picked up a lot from his watchings, and he's used it to his advantage. Well, ripcord. Lee lands on his feet. Sidestep, Lee the quicker of the two. Oh, Lee gets crotched on the second turnbuckle. And the Rev walks up the back and caught a kick right to that external occipital protuberance of Lee Moriarty and chopped down. Elevated back cracker. This could do it. Rev's got a title opportunity. No. Rev sneaking his feet on the ropes. Come on.
I mean, Moriarty still kicked out, so regardless.
Oh, nearly didn't, but thankfully the referee's on top of things.
Plus, Lee's always slipping and sliding his way in and out of things.
Well, Rev has the vulture circling, so to speak. And Rev feels like he's got the situation well in hand.
Joe, would you agree with me if I said that Rev tonight especially may be looking to exercise some demons? As at last Pitt Fight, he suffered a loss at the hands of Chris Taylor. So could he definitely attempt to maybe make the fans forget that ever happened with a victory here tonight?
Oh, I think without a doubt. Wait a minute, headlock driver coming up. Lee counters. I think if Rev can defeat Lee Moriarty, all that goes away and the focus becomes the Pitt Fight Championship. It's not just the fans forgetting, it's about the Rev's career getting back on track, and it's about getting more power to manipulate the Jesus Club in his favor. If Rev takes them to the promised land at the top of Pitt Fight, they'll believe the dogma even more. But it's Moriarty dropping across the arm of the Rev.
Yeah, Lee delivered a little bit of divine intervention of his own right there.
And the Rev in a bad way, but a reversal. Lee trips him up. Kick to the arm. Rev is vulnerable.
Lee really focusing in on that arm hammer lock. Looked like a DDT almost.
Yeah, nice takedown into the cover and a near fall. And notice how quickly, how fluidly Lee is moving, hitting and striking from all sides. It's so tough to prepare for somebody and defend yourself from somebody when you don't know what direction they're coming from.
It's definitely hard to counter. Lee could come from this way, that way, up or down, diagonal, whatever. He always knows a way to injure his opponents.
And A.J. Alexander and Zeke Mercer are a bit of a concern on their face. We saw Jesus Club dominate before we even went on the air here at Pitt Fight Back to School Beatdown as part of a pre-show bonus attraction. But right now, the Rev imposing his will once again here on the apex of combat. Pace quickens, Lee, then it's a drop down into the armbar. Fujiwara style. Rev has the counter, he's clasped the hands together. This keeps the elbow from being hyperextended, the shoulder from being separated, but Lee's broken the grip. And look at A.J. Alexander. A.J. pulls the foot of the Rev into the ropes for a break.
Can never trust a guy who wears sunglasses inside.
Don't be upset, man. If you were Rev, wouldn't you want your homies to help you out in that shape or form?
Yeah, but I wouldn't want him to wear sunglasses while doing it.
Are you on Team Rev now? Wait a second.
Listen, all I'm saying is that if I were him, I'd expect my friends to do the exact same for me. And if they wouldn't, I'd be very upset.
And AJ, well, I don't know if you were the Rev, how you could be proud of a victory like that, especially with what you espouse at all. Rev with a flip pile driver. That'll do it. Rev, no!
Rev in awe of Lee kicking out of that move right there.
I think Rev channeled some kind of divine spirit to pull that one off. But Lee Moriarty rises from the dead to escape.
I don't know. Rev might need to channel some demons if he thinks he's going to put Lee down that easy.
Well, Rev as the official. And here's poor little Zeke Mercer, who's been manipulated into joining this group. Wait a minute. Oh, look at Lee. Uppercut, down goes Zeke. And now, wait a minute. AJ just passed the Rev Is that face mask he wore out here?
I believe that's the mask, yeah.
Lee ducks out of the way.
Misses wildly, connects with a boot straight to AJ.
Oh, AJ hit with a hard thud.
And I think the ref now realizes that he's got an illegal weapon.
Yeah, Lee waving bye-bye. Lee doesn't see it. The official does, thankfully.
That mask looks like it got a couple pointy bits on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's made out of, but it certainly looks to be a hard material, and come on. Rev downstairs on Lee. And got that headlock driver. Don't tell me. Rev steals a victory.
36 minutes, 51 seconds. The sorcerer of the Violence and on the right #1 contender for the Pitt Fight Championship,
The Rev drew number 6 of 6. He had 2 men out here running backup for him. LaRusso sucker shotted Moriarty earlier. I mean, so much has gone on in this matchup to give Ron Hunt the advantage. And bottom line is, Rev Ron Hunt is in line for a Pitt Fight opportunity. Gentlemen, how do you take this? This certainly could not have been the conclusion you anticipated when you thought up this Greensburg gauntlet.
No, unfortunately, Lady Luck was on the side of Rev. He drew the winning hand here, and he had his boys to back him up, which caused major complications for Lee. I don't feel good about this. I mean, like, he stole this opportunity.
I believe Rev having his #1 contendership spot open finally to him, this could have some serious implications, not only on Pitt Fight, but UPG as a whole. What if we start seeing Rev in classrooms teaching us about the doctrine of his Jesus Club? I don't know. Only time will tell.
Separation of church and state for the love of all that's holy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rev Ron Hunt gets the victory. I'm sure we're not going to hear the end of it all night long, but who will the opponent be? We'll find that out later tonight. It's Gory, it's Remy, Pitt Fight Championship still to come.
Stream live and recorded content anywhere with EXP from Armstrong. Stay connected to the content you love. With the all-new EXP app, you can browse and manage your shows and set recordings for TV shows, movies, and series. Plus, you can stream your favorite networks directly from your DVR or with TV Everywhere. At home, the app also lets you transform your device into a second TV screen or remote control. Your content, your way, when you want it. EXP from Armstrong.
Action resuming at Pitt Fight's back-to-school beatdown. Cornell, when's the last time you saw 3 STDs in one place at one time?
A college dorm room.
There you go. Chest Flexor, Billy Ruxpin, and Corey Futuristic.
We drove all the way out here expecting a match. We were told, we're sorry guys, there's too many matches on the card. Maybe you can sit there at the merchandise table, hang out, all these fans, but no! Tell them, Corey. This is the biggest dump I ever seen. Freaks, midgets, diseased people.
And that's just him looking in the mirror.
Disgusting.
Well, Corey has seemingly upset somebody, and who could guess who that may be? Officer Dan's got an issue. He's blowing his whistle all through intermission.
So all the way out here, what do you call it? Dump. That's what you call it. What do you call it? So therefore, I don't have a match. All these criminals here tonight are getting arrested. Something that I'm sure you're already used to in all the prison. And then, us 4 right here, we challenge any 4 criminals in the back to a match. Any 4 criminals, let's go. Go!
So an open challenge. Kyle, there's a lot of people angry that you didn't book them.
Hey, man, they agreed to be on the show.
Well, they're at the show. They forced themselves onto the show. And now it's an open challenge.
The survivor, Chris Archer, the Roman, Steve Bill, the second fireman, Jason Tyler, and here this year, Spencer Slade, against the challenge of Officer and his sexy talented shoes.
Well, we've got 4 young athletes from the IWC Wrestling School, the ICWA.
We got ourselves a giant amen tag team match.
Thank you, Hank. I appreciate that so much. We have Judo Stevie LaBelle. We got the Survivor Philip Archer. We got Spencer Slade. And we got the Sexy Fireman, Jason Tyler, taking on the STDs and Officer Dan Murphy. Now, this has got a little bit of everything involved in it. Impromptu 8-man tag team match. And who's to say what could happen from here? Because with these diverse, divergent personalities. See, crowd thinks Jason Tyler's sexy. Cornell, how sexy is the Sexy Fireman?
You know what? I plead the fifth. I refuse to answer a question like that.
I'm going to consider that 11 out of 10. I know you think he's sexy. I saw you cross your legs over there. Come on now.
You should have seen when he was doing the dance during the intermission.
Is that going to be a bonus feature when this comes out?
Oh, that'll be a bonus. That's the director's cut.
I like it. Sexy Fireman going to start out with the STD. Sexy, talented dude, chest flexor, former IWC high stakes champion, tag team champion. Chest flexor is possibly the strangest human I've ever met in my life. And he just got slapped in the butt. Good game, buddy.
We've heard of slapping the gauntlet before.
Tyler keeps grabbing his bosom and his rear end. I'll just shove Flexor down. Flexor's been in the game about better part of 15 years at this point. He's a young veteran. But the short jabs from Tyler, little flip-flop and fly. Bit of an extra on the flop side, but Flexor gets out of the way. Tags in Officer Dan.
This will make it more of a size-on-size match. I mean, Dan Murphy and the STDs kind of got a little bit of everything. They got the agile, they got the big, they got the strong. But the other team's just a powerhouse.
Yeah, we got Philip Archer in now. Officer Dan's one of those guys who is pretty much a glorified mall cop his whole life. You give him a little bit of power, it goes to the head. Archer winds up and a kick to the back of the head, and Officer Dan's glasses go flying. Dan in a bad way. Archer comes through the clothesline, moving well for a big man. He's almost 300 pounds and gets a near fall.
I feel like it's a common theme at this semester's Pitt Fight where it's just big men who can surprisingly move very well for their size.
Well, I mean, you can look at the evolution of athletes in professional wrestling and athletics as a whole. You know, you can't just get by being a one-dimensional 300-pound powerhouse and punching and kicking anymore like you could 25 or 30 years ago. The game is so much more diverse. It's so much more of a hybrid style. You need a little bit of everything in order to succeed, and we're seeing some of the best young athletes in the area come out and want to give their part and their time each and every year as Officer Dan drives his head into the sternum of Philip Archer, but certainly everybody wants to do their part as part of Connor's Cure, 2 Count in the Ring, and pediatric cancer research as part of this great fundraising event. So great to see causes like this and collisions like that as part of a great cause that we are seeing your second ever Pitt Fight event. Hopefully many, many more to come.
And here comes Billy Ruxpin and Spencer Slade, both in the ring. Both, again, very large men.
Billy Ruxpin at one point was thought to be Corey Futurist's imaginary friend until we saw him and found out he was a real person. Nobody was more shocked to find out he was real than Billy himself. Spencer Slade, very well put together. Spencer Slade, inspirational because he actually wrestles in spite of being deaf. And he uses that headgear that he has on as a source of strength. He wants that disability to not be a sign of weakness, but a sense of empowerment, of strength, of drive, of passion that Spencer Slade possesses to achieve his dream in spite of those pitfalls and roadblocks that he has in front of him.
Yeah, he's definitely a big inspiration to all the future wrestlers that may be watching this show as we speak.
Absolutely. And Ruxpin trying to knock Spencer down. But Spencer, as we mentioned, very well put together. Nice leapfrog. And Billy Ruxpin, near 300 pounds in his own right, at least, gets rocked but not dropped. Inverted atomic drop. Stuck on the clothesline and down to the breadbasket.
Big thing is Slade's got to get him on his feet, and he does it right there.
Yeah. Billy Ruxpin, you know, he's almost like an overgrown child. He's so innocent. He's not out to hurt anybody. He just wants to have fun and wave to people and hug them. And we're a long way from hugs right now. Spencer Slade, second turnbuckle on the inside. And measures him with the elbow. Cover to count only.
A pinfall's kind of like a laying hug.
Something like that. Not the same emotion, but we'll go with it.
Corey Futuristic in the ring now.
Is that what your parents told you a laying hug was?
Something like that.
Okay. Just asking questions. I'm a journalist. Here comes the Ronin Stevie LaBelle. And there's Corey Futuristic. Corey Futuristic, easy for me to say, claims he's from the future, and all the evidence he's given us of that is repeatedly saying he's from the future. This has gone on for 9 years.
Well, his tights look like he's from nowhere except Nickelodeon.
Yeah, it looks like 90s Nickelodeon threw up on him.
Yep. Stevie LaBelle out there, a judo expert in his own right. I wonder what moves he's going to pull out to try and destroy Corey Futuristic out here. And I couldn't say it either.
Well, Ronin, he calls himself the Ronin. It's been a nickname assigned to him. And certainly when you look at judo, you look at a lot of throws. You look at a lot of leverage maneuvers. And I've seen LaBelle use those multiple times. Corey Futuristic looking for some leverage. Nicely done. Springboard Bulldog. Almost shades of Trish Stratus by Corey Futuristic. I just wanted to say that for the soundbite. And now measuring the knee into the Ronin. And notice LaBelle is in the wrong part of town.
Yeah, Corey cleverly drew him over there so he could get the numbers game on him.
Not often do you hear Corey and Clever in the same sentence. And this might be... Wait a minute, that was unique. Chest just threw Corey's legs out from under him for momentum, and the Ronin got planted right in his head.
Joe, out of pure curiosity, which team would you say has the upper hand in this type of matchup?
2 count only. I got to give the advantage to the STDs because they've been around together for 2 or 3 years if you include Ruxpin. If you just count Chest and Corey, closer to 8 or 9 years. Officer Dan, I don't think gets along with them. So you look at that camaraderie, but at the same time, LaBelle, Archer, and Tyler were in the same training class. Spencer came a class later, so they would have a lot of cohesion as well. But as we touched on earlier, sometimes there's no substitution for experience, and Flexor brings that. Flexor will mess with your head. And Officer Dan taunting the opposing corner. Measures the elbow into the midsection to count only.
I find it very impressive that Murphy can whistle his way out of every situation here, and it almost adds like a sound effect to every little move he does.
You make it sound so pleasant. Whistle his way out of any situation.
Oh, trust me, it's not pleasant on my ears.
It's like a Disney song. But yeah, it's anything but pleasant. Officer Dan over-abuses a level of authority he never had to begin with. You hear him during our live intermission here yelling at kids and telling them to stop running?
Yeah, usually that's campus police's job.
Yeah, but Officer Dan doesn't realize that he oversteps his bounds, and he thinks he is the law anywhere he goes.
He's got to understand his jurisdiction. I mean, the cops here don't play around. They could take him on.
Do you know from experience?
We're not going to talk about it.
Okay, just asking questions. Cornell knows more than he's letting on. I know this.
I wonder what gave that away.
Ruxpin is punishing LaBelle, and notice dragging LaBelle away from his corner. And again, we talked earlier about cutting that ring off, and they've neutralized the Ronin. Corey Futuristic back in.
You can see so much from the future, like he's going to pull out a laser gun. Like, if he pulls out a laser gun, is that a DQ?
I'm waiting for him to pull out tomorrow's lottery numbers. If you ask Corey, like lariat by Corey. I believe Corey would tell you laser guns are not a DQ in the future to absolve himself. Near fall. Oh. I mean, Corey could play the stock market. I mean, he could bet on the Super Bowl. There's so many things he could be doing with his time rather than hanging around chest flexor.
I mean, he'd basically be reenacting Back to the Future 2.
Well, there you go. Hell, he could travel to the past and be in Back in the Future, too.
Yeah, you're right.
And Ruxpin just tapped Officer Dan about 7 times. Unorthodox personified. Whistle blown elbow. 2 count only. Now, is Officer Dan the whistleblower that Donald Trump's been upset about?
No, but we're upset at him for a different reason.
I see. Oh, a pull of hair.
That's why we're upset at him.
And the whistle in general.
You booked a lot of whistles on this card. I just want to have you aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, OSHA just kind of showed up.
I see. Probably threatened you with some of those violations. You're getting bribed, you're getting threatened, you're getting violated. Someone didn't pay the electric bill. You got a lot of problems, Kyle. Straight boot by Officer Dan. Archer got it. And Archer's got a temper on him as well. This poor official doing the best he can. And they're going to see the unscrupulous STDs taking advantage. And LaBelle handspring into the double back elbow. And here comes Ruxpin. Goodbye, Ruxpin. Can LaBelle find his corner? Duck of the clothesline. Judo throw, countered. That's about 310 pounds to try to get over in that throw.
Goodness gracious, LaBelle needs to find some way to make a tag to any one of his fresh partners right here.
Yeah, LaBelle's gotten rid of every member of the opposing team except the legal man. If you notice, Officer Dan's the only one left standing. Reversal, and and notice Dan takes a cheap shot at Spencer Slade for no reason.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's for no reason. I'd definitely say that. Oh, my goodness. I'd say evening the odds, perhaps.
How you going to even the odds when the guy's on the outside of the ring?
Heightening your chances of winning so he doesn't interfere during your pinfall.
Archer's getting shots. Flexor on Slade. When did you become an STD?
Never said that.
Here comes Corey. Oh, STD flying right in your face.
Sounds like college.
And Ruxpin's got Spencer Slade. Let's see what the Ronin's doing.
What is Stevie LaBelle thinking here?
They don't teach this in judo class. Tope could heel onto the floor. And there's only one man left in our trajectory, at least.
Oh, don't tell me.
I'm kind of scared to see where this is going.
Please do not tell me. He will flatten everybody in his way. I might never see these people wrestle ever again.
And people's using that term loosely. We're going to get sexy, gentlemen. Oh, here comes Flexor.
And Flexor stopping Tyler here from turning everybody into the International House of Pancakes.
And Flexor, cuts Tyler off with the pass, but this fight continues on the floor. There's bodies everywhere. Good grief. And Flexor and Tyler on that bottom rope as we have 6 men jockeying for position on the outside. Oh, we got a motorboat. Flexor right in the bosom. And now, what is this?
What is he thinking of here? This is a very precarious situation for everyone involved.
Tyler's got Flexor.
Oh, my God.
And the bowling pins come tumbling down.
Goodness gracious.
As if the sexy fireman wasn't enough. You had 200 pounds of chest flexor on the trip down.
Did anybody live through that? I can't tell from this angle.
I highly doubt. The referee's starting the count now.
The referee's okay. We got something.
1 out of 9.
Well, Ronan's got Officer Dan back in.
Somehow they're still alive and kicking.
Hey, guys, who's illegal?
This is a great question. I believe it's these 2 men.
DDT, counter. Jump up knee.
Now everyone's starting to stir.
Yep. Sexy super kick.
Call it a sexy kick, if you will.
Why not?
Oh. Archer with a kick of his own.
Survivor super kick.
Look at Spencer. Look at the strength of this man.
Raw power. Here comes Ruxpin. And A clothesline to Archer. Ruxpin got taken out by Ronan. This thing's completely falling apart. And chest downstairs, right in front of the official, by the way. I'm begging somebody to do something here.
Oh, and Sexy Fireman setting up.
Oh, he's jiggling, he's juking, he's jiving. Oh, we got the flip-flop and fly, baby, if you will.
Corey Futuristic on the top rope. What's he thinking of here? Missile drop kick.
Missile drop kick. Corey interrupted my Dusty bit. Here comes Spencer Slade. Air raid crash. Corey down in the back of his head. Will this be enough? He's got him.
It is time now, 14 minutes, 25 seconds. Who is the team of the Survivor? Phil Departure, the Roman Stevie LaBelle, the Sexy Fireman, Jason Tyler, and Senator Gear, Spencer Slade.
Well, the STD Open Challenge didn't exactly go their way, did it?
Not even a little bit. They were met with a barrage of brutes here in this match.
Look at you with the alliteration.
I am an English major.
Archer, Jason Tyler, well, you hit it from us long enough. Welcome back. Spencer Slade, Jason Tyler, the Ronin, the Survivor. Pick up a big 8-man tag team victory as Pitt Fight, back to school beatdown, rolls on.
What's on tonight?
Alexa, launch Netflix.
Well, gentlemen, anything could happen in this altercation and probably will. Well, Kyle, Beastman was running roughshod all over this campus in our inaugural Pit Fight. We couldn't control him, and 3 or 4 different times he found himself somewhere he didn't belong. And unfortunately, one of those occasions raised the ire of Andrew Palace, did it not?
It did indeed. Beastman interrupting the Fatal 4-Way and costing Andrew Palace his chance at the Pit Fight Championship. We bumped it up a little bit this time. We got zip ties for his cage. We got more fish heads, just as you requested.
Thank you.
And most importantly, we made this way to separate these two as much as possible because the heat that has been growing these past 7 months is intense.
Out of all the things I asked for, you only listened to the fish head part?
I mean, I can't get you a private jet. I can't afford it.
Fine. I'll settle for the bus.
We're only college students. You shouldn't expect much from us.
Well, we'll see what we can expect in this match. It's going to be unorthodox. It's going to be a little bit of retribution and maybe a little bit of fun if this opponent has anything to say about it.
And now, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 200 pounds, is the Spanish Mexicano, Andrew Palace.
I've never seen somebody come into a room with so much frenetic energy, with so much just wild man tendencies. He's all over the place. It's the Spasmanian Devil. He's one of those guys that can't sit still and one of those guys that wants to have fun 24/7. But I don't think this matchup will be much fun for him, but the thought of retribution certainly is. Andrew Palace, one of a kind, and as you said a moment ago, Kyle, what was very close to being the first Pit Fight champion. A great representative he would have made, but unfortunately, Beastman saw, what, a target, fresh meat, shiny colors, whatever it may have been. Either way, Beastman made his presence known.
I'm guessing it was all the above because he had Beastman beat John Roden that night. He made another appearance in the Bobcat Brawl, just kind of rolling in and out. And he's shaking the guardrails. I'm scared.
If you're scared, how do you think the fans in the front row feel?
Terrified.
Cornell, you won't mind if you just like sit slightly in front of us and we just kind of linger back here, right, will you?
I hope you don't mind if I sit all the way in the back behind everything.
Oh, by Jesse? You don't want to
Oh, my goodness.
Palace! The suicide dive, and we've officially taken out the front row. You can say it now, Kyle. Everybody's dead.
Everybody's ankles have just been broken.
And
Has this bell even rung yet? What in the world is Beastman doing?
They're not in the ring. You can't win the bell, but Beastman is going to disassemble the place. Look out.
What is his obsession with guardrails?
Well, I think it's an implement to destroy. And, Palace just ran the guardrail into Beastman. And, on top of the Beastman.
Oh, my goodness. Double feet right on top of him with the guardrail, just chilling out on top.
And Palace is fighting for his life here. He's trying to survive.
Talk about a front row experience for some of these newcomers to Pitt Fight.
Hey, I just hope they know to keep their distance. And Palace went for a headbutt and hurt himself.
I don't think it was, oh my goodness, I don't think it was a good idea to headbutt the Beastman.
Not at all. That thick cranium, not much to hurt in there either.
Could attempting to hurt the Neanderthal skull of Beastman be Palace's downfall here?
Oh no, Beastman
and now
with a chair.
He's got a chair.
I don't know if Beastman really understands what he does or why he does it. He just sees fresh meat in front of him and maybe wants to replace that bone he brought out. Oh, Palace kicks the chair into the stomach. Palace, a defensive chair shot, and Beastman is reeling. Palace giving
right in front of us now. Oh my God! Watch out, Joe. Watch out.
Joe, he tried to steal you from us.
He tried to use you as a weapon, most likely.
Gosh. I told you, Beastman doesn't understand. He sees something and he pounces. He strikes. This guy is nuts.
And again, this bell has not rung. This match has not officially started yet.
Well, you can't start the match till they're in the ring. And Beastman's got the hammer lock and now shoulder to the post. God.
Bet everyone from Pitt, Maine could hear that impact.
We could hear from Titusville for all we know.
Even Bradford.
Ugh. Bradford.
Ugh.
And Palace, the worse for wear right now, but you could see, you could hear, you could feel how hard Palace hit that corner, and that speaks to the power that Beastman possesses. The match just started, believe it or not. We almost had 15 casualties out here before the match even began. And now, gentlemen, you got to wonder if Andrew Palace is having second thoughts about accepting this match.
I mean, I would have second thoughts when I heard I was fighting Beastman in the first place. I mean, he is a big man.
If you could use the term man, he's a beast, he's a monster, he's a savage. And Beastman spitting out. What is that, part of Palace's flesh?
Definitely could be.
Don't put it past him at all.
My God. Beastman is relentless in what he's done. And you know he's not going to stop until Palace stops fighting, and Palace doesn't know how to stop fighting.
That's what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object.
And again, both these athletes have held top championships in the area. Beastman standing on the hair. Standing on the hair, pulling up. On the anatomy of Palace, good grief.
I'm surprised that a creature like Beastman even understands like rules and regulations regarding disqualifications.
That's assuming that he does. I mean, it could be instincts at this point. It could be, I don't know who handles him. I don't know who takes care of him when he's not here. I don't know who takes care of him when he is here. Palace is firing away. The Beastman to boot. You can hear the impact again. My God.
Joe, what is cover here, right here?
Yeah, is this it for Palace? 2 count only.
Joe, as I was saying, what would you think is the ideal, optimal strategy for Palace here tonight?
I think if you want to beat Beastman, you got to confuse him. He's not very smart. He doesn't have the wind to go long distances. You got to hit and run. You got to distract him. You got to find something, shiny object. Jingle your keys, for God's sakes. Do whatever you can, but get Beastman off of his focus on you. And when he's mesmerized by whatever else, then you capitalize. Get the guy off his feet and get yourself to a point where you're not just a sitting duck. You're not prey. You can actually offensively strike, and Beastman just hit an arm drag. The hell did he learn that?
He must be watching something in the deepest, darkest West Virginia.
Wow, they don't have electricity there. I don't know what. That's like a key lock he's got in right now, almost like a Kimura. And into a standing splash, cover, 2 count only.
What grizzly bear taught him how to wrestle?
Probably a smart one.
I think Beastman saw some mixed martial arts hieroglyphics somewhere in this cave. Palace in a bad way. Imagine 368 pounds leaning down onto you. Not even to mention the pressure and pain of that hold. And Palace hammering away. Those series of jabs, drop kick. But Beastman does not go down. Uppercut. Oh, Palace has to dig deep. How much does the Spasmanian Devil have left?
Smashing forearm right across the jaw of the Beastman. And Beastman still hasn't been knocked off of his feet.
Palace doing everything he can to try, though.
And oh, God!
God!
That'll do it. That'll do it. Now a near fall. Beastman, a standing cross body. All of Palace's momentum worked against him as he collided with that thick frame.
See, that's the only challenge that Palace is going to suffer. It takes a lot to get the big Beastman down, but for him, one fell swoop like that, and Palace is on the ground again.
Absolutely.
Once again, Palace at a disadvantaged state. At what point do you think he would wonder, what do I have to do to put Beastman away?
Well, I mean, Palace is just worried about keeping himself from being put away right now. Because if Beastman hits this, it's see you later, Palace.
We might be getting a pancaked Palace here in the Chambers gym if Beastman follows through with this.
And Beastman took too much time, and Palace got the foot up. Beastman tried to put the brakes on, but it was too late. Nobody there in the elbow.
Now Palace looking to outsmart Beastman and try to find any way to slip a counter in.
That's what you got to do. You got to hit and run. You got to get the big man off his game. And now Beastman experiencing that intense pain in his abdominals. And certainly that's going to keep his focus, at least momentarily, off of Andrew Palace.
Do you think Palace made a mistake wearing bright colored gear? Because I feel like anything other than muted colors or the color black would attract like Beastman.
That's all Andrew
I feel like
Palace.
It just makes him angry.
That's all Andrew Palace knows. He's colorful every minute of the day. I don't think Palace is going to change who he is or compromise himself for the sake of somebody else. Palace is going to win this the Andrew Palace way, even if it makes it harder on him. Back of the clothesline and into Gurry to the back of the head. And can Palace knock the Neanderthal down? Beastman reverses. Sunset flip. Nothing doing. Oh, Palace out of the way.
No one home there for that leg drop. Palace looking to take advantage of this. Of his opportunity to get the big man down. Can he do it again, though?
He can't even wrap his arms around him. What is he doing?
And Beastman a standing side switch for crying out loud. And now Palace, wait a minute.
What? What in the world did we just see?
Palace elevates the Beastman 368.
I am speechless at what we just saw there. That was amazing.
Felt the impact from over here.
Definitely felt that at Bradford.
Imagine how Beastman feels. Knee right to the side of the face. Has Palace found a way? No. My goodness.
Palace might need to pull out a couple more of those German suplexes to put the Beastman down for sure.
You know, earlier on in the match, I wanted to make the point that Palace wouldn't be able to hit Beastman with his signature hernia driver. Now I'm not so sure.
Palace in the driver's seat now, looking to maintain that momentum.
I thought for a second he was going to try for that hernia driver, but not at this point. Beastman counters to a back body drop. And Beastman cannonball, good grief.
Oh my God.
And just like
Palace is done.
How do you kick out of that? And Palace did!
And Palace showed you how.
The impact of that cannonball even sent that thick, heavy bone of Beastman's flying out of the ring, but it wasn't enough to stop Andrew Palace somehow. It's still good.
It's all right.
Hope it hadn't lost its flavor.
The bones of Andrew Palace, though, I'm not so sure. They've definitely taken quite a beating from guardrails to slams.
Beastman may be forcibly taking a replacement by the end of this match. And Palace has no idea what's coming. And again, Beastman doesn't care about wins and losses or about Pitt Fight championships. Beastman just knows to hurt and maim. Swing and a miss. Oh, Palace got hit right in the arm. And Palace driven down with a claw. That'll do it. No. My God, the Iron Claw, shades of the Von Erichs and Baron Von Raschke and Kurgan and so many others, but Beastman couldn't keep Palace down for 3.
Fans here rallying behind Palace, but what more does he have left after a move like that?
Yeah, it could be too little too late at this point. Palace, I'm not sure if you can even hear these fans. He may not be conscious, or at the very least, completely out on his feet, so to speak. And Beast, oh my God.
Oh no. Beastman going upstairs.
Anytime Beastman leaves his feet is a bad, bad situation.
Beastman looking for a superplex, but Palace counters.
Oh, Palace knows if Beastman hits this match is over.
Palace fighting for his life up there. No telling what kind of damage can be done if he hits the ground.
Now Palace looking for a move of his own. Oh my God!
Sword set, Bob connects. Palace the short DDT. All impact. Is this enough? Andrew Palace picks up the win somehow.
9 minutes, 40 seconds. Your winner, the Tasmanian Devil, Andrew Palace.
Andrew Palace found a way and avenges Beastman, singling Palace out as a target in the inaugural Pitt Fight. Palace is certainly hurt, certainly the worse for wear, but my God, what do you think is next, gentlemen, for Andrew Palace in Pitt Fight? Cornell, if he overcame Beastman, is there anything that could stop Andrew Palace?
Realistically, nothing. Definitely a monumental win here for Andrew Palace. I look forward to seeing what he could bring in the near future for Pitt Fight.
Hunger exists in every county in America. More than 1 in 5 children are at risk. Armstrong continues to create awareness in our communities through Breaking Bread, our initiative to provide resources to food pantries and soup kitchens. Here's how to help. Stop by your local Armstrong office and donate non-perishable food items. Attend special Breaking Bread events held in your area, or volunteer at your local food bank. For more information, visit us on Facebook at Armstrong One Wire and click the Breaking Bread tab.
Journey with me into the mind of a maniac. The mind of Dan Hooven led him to the IWC High Stakes Championship, which is one of the most no rules, no frills titles in the area.
Look at this. Look at this crew here at Pitt Greensburg. Is that where we're at? Greensburg, PA?
days on your certificate. So, let's make this sweet. Because we're in Greensburg, which is outside of Pittsburgh, which is a city full of losers, we're going to name this match after a winning city. It's going to be a Philadelphia street fight.
A Philadelphia street fight.
And because I don't have a scheduled opponent, Mr. Kyle, I'm going to lay an open challenge. So if there's anybody in the back that wants to take me on for this championship, the floor is all yours.
We have another open challenge. Kyle, you should really finish these cards. Oh no.
Alright, it looks like we got a challenger for the IWC High Stakes Championship. A Philadelphia street fight, period! From Armstrong Park, New York, 280 pounds, Marshall, the Bull,
Well, there's a little bit of unfinished business. Thank you so much, Hank, for clarifying. Unfinished business in the mind of Marshall the Bull, who already claimed some victims earlier. But you see the look on the face of Dan Hooven. I think he might be, rightfully so, a bit concerned. A, Marshall's been in street fights his whole life, in and out of pro wrestling. B, Marshall's a former high-stakes champion. He beat James Ellsworth for that honor and held it for much of 2018.
Yeah, I mean, Gambino's out here looking to try to add to his already impressive repertoire. He sees Hooven mad and is looking to take advantage of his anger in this situation.
And Marshall doesn't exactly have a stellar disposition in his own right, but nobody there in the corner. Hooven back to the neck breaker. We saw Hooven a year ago as part of the Bobcat Brawl, brought a kendo stick into the matchup, so certainly a no-rules mentality is always in his wheelhouse. Hooven's got a chair. And, Marshall didn't see it coming. But, gentlemen, you got to think about the disadvantage Marshall's in over having already competed earlier tonight in a very highly competitive match.
Yeah, wear and tear is definitely something he has to worry about. But Marshall, again, you said it yourself, he's been in street fights all his life. He knows his way around these kind of matches.
Cornell, you ever been in a Philadelphia street fight?
I've never been to Philadelphia once in my life, so I think the answer would be no.
Well, I mean, then you wouldn't have to encounter people with the attitude of Hooven, so congratulations.
I'm glad I don't have to. Oh my goodness.
Clothesline, and Marshall falls backwards. He may have hit his head on the ground, on the steel, and this is not like a padding. This is covering to protect the floor.
School's more concerned about scratches of the floor than injuries.
Well, one they got to pay for, one they don't. But Marshall's going to make Hooven pay. And Hooven into the guardrail now.
And a thunderous chop here on the outside of the ring. And now a fan's holding him back. What?
You want to run down Greensburg? You want to run down this campus and say it's inferior to the main campus? There's going to be a lot of receipts given here. Ouch. Marshall the Bull is, look out.
That was right in front of us here.
Forehead first, right in the guardrail.
Hold him. No.
Hold him. Hold him, guys. Come on.
Got him.
You're the press box, you get this?
He helped us promote the show, so it's the least we could do.
Well, that's what he gets for blaming you for his problems, right?
Exactly. That was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Hank's going to hold him.
My goodness, he's going around the block.
Hank almost hurt himself. Don't get hurt, Hank. Now the guy with the weird hair is holding him.
Goodness gracious.
Good job, Finn.
Even he felt that through Hooven's chest and back. Now Hooven's starting to fight back. I don't understand how.
I don't understand why. Why would you want to fight back? He just used the crowd to his advantage. I mean, that's what he gets for saying Philadelphia is the best city around, because it's not.
Why do you want to fight back? It's for the high-stakes championship. Hooven's only been champion for 3 days now.
He's got to solidify himself.
Beat R.C. Dupree in a matchup about equally as lawless back in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania 3 days ago. Shout out to RC, who's licking his wound somewhere. Marshall Gambino choking Hooven on the guardrail, it looks like. And giving everybody an up-close and personal view of the Philadelphia native.
He just take a oh my God.
Hooven need cooled off a little bit. Man, this is Marshall a bull in his element if I've ever seen it.
Going all the way back up to the entrance here.
And again, Marshall Bull's not a regular active competitor anymore, but you thought an open challenge in a locker room like this, it's not going to end well.
Did we just see a tooth flout?
There was something flying.
Marshall went for a pinfall. I don't recall this being made Falls Count anywhere, but I guess in Philly, if it works, it'll work here, right? Philly Street Fight. And Hooven into one of the merchandise tables. I hope everybody back there knows to duck and cover, get out of the way.
Is he going near the fan? Oh my God!
Being rammed head first into the industrial-sized fan. That's the only fan Hooven's got in the building. Oh, Hooven turns things around. On top of Marshall. He's whipping him with a T-shirt. Look at that.
Using any given object to his advantage.
Hey, if I'm Dan Hooven, I'll grab whatever's not nailed down, too, to try to sequester Marshall the Bull. Look out! Oh, slamming the table! Oh, my gosh.
Oh. Did he just throw him out of the building?
Hooven through the door. They're in the parking lot. And Marshall's going to wait for him to come back, thankfully, because we don't have monitors. Thanks, Kyle. And Hooven doesn't even know where his opponent is.
We'll put that in the budget request.
And Hooven just fighting for his life here.
Oh, my God. Oh, good Lord.
The further away from the ring we go, the more it's advantage Marshall. And I'm not so sure that the advantage in the ring wouldn't go to Marshall either.
Joe, what type of strategy would you employ in a street fight of this magnitude?
I would get a bus ticket. I'd be in Poughkeepsie, New York.
Duly noted.
I can't pronounce that, but it still sounds better than Philadelphia.
Oh, gosh.
Goodness gracious. Now into the bleachers. Hooven just running for his life at this point.
Yeah.
I don't even think he understands.
He tried to hit him with a sign.
I don't think that's going to work very well.
No, honestly, what you do to try to beat Marshall, you keep him in the ring. You don't give him a Philadelphia street fight. You give him a one-on-one technical match. Do the British round system. Do something. Channel your inner Billy Robinson, but don't enter a street fight with a guy who's got rolled up carpet at the bottom of the Allegheny River.
Rolling all the way down the bleachers here.
Now Gambino sitting next to my mom drinking a Pepsi.
Hooven sealed his own fate. He signed his own death warrant here. I hope your mom knows to get out of the way when things get bad. She better not trust Marshall. I don't care if he was teaming with QB Blitz.
Definitely one of the more one-sided matches we've seen so far here at Pitt Fight. Oh my God!
That's a thud.
Vertical suplex on the hard floor.
And
Marshall into the cover, hooks the leg.
2 count only.
Thought we were going to crown a new high-stakes champion here.
You could literally feel the reverb of the floor under our feet as Hooven hit.
Goodness gracious. And where's he taking him here? Oh.
Anywhere he damn well pleases, over the tables. Don't hurt Michael Sorg. I need him to do post-production.
We need him in case we want to do another podcast with him.
Gosh.
Where's he going? What's he pointing to now? As if he hasn't done enough in this match.
Well, there is another fan back there. Marshall is dragging Hooven to the back of this building. And Hooven's
still showing he's got some life.
Yeah, puts the brakes on before they get to the fan and Marshall into the table.
I think only the first 2 minutes of this match has taken place inside the ring. Everything else has just been out here near the fans.
Oh, Hooven trying to elevate Marshall. Marshall elevates Hooven. Good grief. But this is the mark of the high-stakes division, guys. Anything can happen at any time.
Do you think Hooven's regretting issuing this as an open challenge for his championship?
I think he should regret an open challenge. He should regret a Philly street fight. He should regret getting into the business. He should regret his birth. There's a lot of things he should be regretting right now because there's a whole host of mistakes you got to make to get into this kind of a butt whooping from Marshall the Bull.
What is Marshall doing now?
Whatever he damn well pleases.
Oh my God!
And that was one of those flats that you carry in all these tables on, or these chairs.
Hopefully he doesn't break them. We need them for after the show.
Well, good luck, guys. You'll be cleaning up Dan Hooven body parts while you're at it.
Ugh. Take them as a souvenir. Show them to next year's freshmen. So this is what happens at Pitt Fight. This is what happens here at UPG.
That's what happens when you talk about the main campus.
That's what happens when you say Philly's the best city ever.
Hooven's got he's got a beverage.
What was in that beverage?
I don't know what was in it, but it threw Marshall off his game enough. Marshall covered himself as if there was something else on the way. I think Hooven was just trying to create a distraction. For now, you are. Marshall.
It's definitely subject to change here with this rapid flurry of strikes here from, oh my God, Gambino. Looking to Irish whip him into the corner. Oh my God!
Skull first.
Head first crashing into the steel chair.
Marshall could be the first two-time high-stakes champion, at least of this modern era, if not all time.
And look at the smile on this man's face, enjoying every single moment of this gruesome encounter.
Like a Cheshire cat. That's the happiest I've ever seen Marshall in my life.
And he is not done with that steel chair.
I wouldn't be either. I mean, he just took out his skull right there.
Notice Marshall's not trying for a lot of pins at this point. He's enjoying the act of hurting him.
Do you think that could be his downfall later on?
It could be, or it could be the end permanently for Dan Hooven.
Only time will tell. As Gambino looks to assert his dominance in this match. Oh, good God.
And that steel to the base of the spine. And I mean, most of your anatomy is your back, is your torso. If that's inoperable, you're not moving very fast, and you're not doing very much. And now Marshall choking the life out of Hooven.
You can't breathe, you also can't move that fast either.
Amen.
Oh.
That'll do it. No. Marshall put the chair maybe a bit too low on Hooven's anatomy. And now, uh-oh.
Where is Gambino going?
And Hooven pushes the official, which crotches Marshall, and it's completely legal in a matchup like this. Oh, my God.
Go for a DDT?
No, come on.
No. Oh, my God.
Marshall face first off the chair. Hooven on the ropes. Hooven just barely sneaks by.
Winning time, 11 minutes, 52 seconds. Your winner and still IWC high-stakes champion, the self-proclaimed hottest Asian on the stage.
Whoa!
Dan Hooven, through hell and high water, still managed to survive and maintain his championship.
Well, Hooven retains the title, but you got to wonder if Marshall the Bull hadn't already competed earlier tonight, would the result have been different?
One can only wonder.
My real question is, what happened? What did CJ do?
Hey, I think Hooven's looking to blame somebody else on his problems, the official, Marshall, us, anybody. But hardcore Hooven, as he has on his ring gear, he can go back to Philadelphia and brag. He can go back to the main campus and brag. He can do whatever he wants. Dan Hooven retains the high-stakes championship over a former champion and one of the toughest in the business.
Zoom. For well over 2 decades, it's been the area's most reliable internet service. And our wireless network keeps your whole home connected to the internet, no matter how many different devices you have. Call or visit us online and see the difference speed can make. The future is faster with Zoom.
Katie Arquette, the queen of the silver screen, is in the ring right now. And gentlemen, she's had a tough time as of late. She's used to the Hollywood pampered treatment. She's used to having an entourage. Lately, her entourage turned their back on her. She lost the IWC Women's Championship. She's looking for some retribution. I do understand the opponent is a close friend of someone she used to call a friend.
Out of Miami, Florida, weighing 185 pounds, he is Trophy Boy, Tyler Klein.
We saw the trophy. Thank you, Hank. I love you so much. We saw the debut of the Trophy Boy Tyler Klein at our inaugural Pitt Fight in the Bobcat Brawl. And from what I understand, the Trophy Boy has been kind of recruited by Calvin Couture, the former right-hand man, fashionista, assistant, driver, all the above of Katie Arquette. Calvin wants Tyler Klein to send a message to Katie Arquette, and we'll see if he's able to do that right now. Intergender rules, but Katie doesn't care if you are a man, if you are a woman, if you're a small child, animal, vegetable, or mineral. She will fight you if you're across the ring from her.
Now, Katie will fight all comers. She was originally scheduled to fight Honey Badger, but unfortunately due to travel issues that she was not able to show up. So Calvin Couture used this opportunity to try and snub it in her face once more.
How do badgers travel? Do they burrow under the ground, or how does that work?
I think it's a series of animals that she can communicate with, but she communicated wrong with them.
Okay. That was even less than Cornell's answer earlier, but we'll go with it. Katie Arquette and Tyler Klein. Tyler, a little fashionista-esque inclined as well. Got that tape measure, and I don't know what he just said, but I think he crossed the line. I think Katie thinks that the Trophy Boy is a bit of a coward. I'm not going to dispute that. Tyler Klein, originally trained in the Boston area, migrated here to the Pittsburgh area to seek newfound opportunities, and he's been competing in a number of promotions in the tri-state area, and he's looked very good for himself. Still very young in his career. Katie Arquette been around about 2.5 years. Tyler, I believe, still only a number of months, but still certainly a huge upside, a lot of potential, but Katie could shut a lot of that down here tonight, guys.
Yeah, she definitely could. She could ruin all the momentum Klein has worked so hard to get to so far.
Cornell, have you ever had a fight with a woman?
Once with my sister when I was 8 years old, and she elbowed me so hard that one of my teeth came out of my mouth.
So you can kind of relate to the plight of Tyler Klein right now, knowing he's in a dangerous situation.
Just a little bit. I advise him to guard his face.
Is that your only advice for Tyler Klein right now?
Initially, it was don't get in the ring with her. Right now, it's get out of the ring with her.
That is fair. Can't argue with any of that. Kyle, this matchup is certainly the brainchild of you and your constituents. What are you looking for from this matchup? Are you looking as a battle of the sexes? Are you looking at a situation of helping Katie Arquette get some revenge? Is this just a chance to spotlight some new talent? What's going through your mind watching this?
I think there's a lot that goes into this match. Obviously, this is Loud and Proud Week at Pitt Greensburg, too, so this intergender match is a first here. I think Katie kind of deserves a little retribution as well for the suffering she has gone through at the hands of Calvin Couture and Justin LaBar, respectively.
Absolutely. Major coup that cost Katie much of the success she's worked to attain. Tyler looking for a hip toss. Katie slips underneath. Nice roll through, shoulders trapped, 2 count only. Tyler getting upset, but not really helping matters very much.
Definitely needs to not let his emotions drive his actions right here.
Yeah, you don't want to
see. Goodness gracious.
You don't want to respond on impulse, or else Katie might snap off that satellite head scissors. Trophy Boy. Crowd into Katie. Tyler. Katie, like Katie had him by the, what is that, mascot he's wearing?
I don't know. I don't think he's moved up the bow tie status yet.
Well, maybe not.
He hasn't reached that promotion.
Yeah, I think Calvin has to anoint him to that. But
most likely.
Everybody's got their own style. It just so happens that some people's is wrong.
Can't argue with that logic.
And Tyler Klein has Katie. Oh, look out. Katie puts the brakes on. And Tyler Klein looking to send Katie into the post, and caught her just not the way he expected. Oh, big chop coming. God, Tyler could have broken his own hand on the ring post. That's how you do it. And Katie, my gosh, you got to believe, Cornell, that Katie's looking at Tyler Klein and she's seeing Calvin Couture every time she hits him.
I'd like to believe that she's separating the two and just views this as a regular singles match. Oh, but right now, Katie with a thunderous chop. It's hard to believe that Katie doesn't have a grudge going into this match.
Kyle, there's a lot of audience participation here tonight. This is wild.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, again, this is a lot of people's first wrestling shows, and it shows that they love it, and it shows that we need to bring more Pitt Fight shows here to Greensburg.
Absolutely. And oh, God. Enziguri kick by Tyler. And Tyler just choking away at Katie Arquette and acting so oblivious, so innocent. Oh, who, me? What did I do? And Katie, the worse for wear right now. Chin lock cinched in. And Katie's got a cult following here in Greensburg. They must have seen her movies. Battling out of the chin lock. And Tyler, handful of hair. Good grief.
That's definitely a disadvantage for Katie. Having long hair like that could lead to situations like those where it becomes a giant target on her head.
Hey, if Katie gets her way, she might pull out Tyler's hair by the roots. Katie will never stop fighting. Clothesline connects. Second time. And the queen of the silver screen can feel it. She's on center stage right now. Monkey flip connects. Series of elbows. Get some distance. Running hip attack connects.
And Arquette really bringing it to Klein right here.
Move could potentially break someone's neck.
You guys think Cousin David's watching?
I hope he is.
Hi, David.
Definitely hope that he's proud of his cousin here as she secures the pinfall. 1, 2, and near fall.
Katie's shocked. Katie hadn't been this shocked since her cousin won the WCW World title.
Either that or when she got betrayed by her own entourage, but that's for another discussion.
Well, certainly true. That certainly is still weighing on the conscience of Katie Arquette. And perhaps Tyler Klein could be a step forward in revenge. Look at Tyler. Oh, trying to wrench the arm out of the socket.
Jeez, that hurt me.
Oh, what an awkward angle that arm and shoulder landed. I could do it. No.
Arquette still in this match.
And that was something very unique from Tyler that I can't recall the last time I've seen. And Katie, I think, just woke up. Damn it, suplex!
Goodness gracious. Looking to take Tyler Klein to Suplex City.
Oh, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Ty's fighting for his life. Back heel trip, the STO takedown. Will this be enough? It is. Katie the victory. Tyler Klein goes down tonight. Maybe Calvin will be next. Maybe Ray Litt. Maybe Justin LaBar. But Katie Arquette is a star in the rise, gentlemen, no doubt about it.
Absolutely not. And she definitely sent a message here tonight that she's ready for retribution. She is ready to regain any title that was lost, and she will take on all comers to do it.
Katie Arquette is your victor. Katie Arquette ready for anybody that comes next. And we're just a heartbeat away from what's next for us. That's our main event.
Are you moving at the speed of business? File transfers, multiple locations, video chat. Companies these days are using more data than ever, and it's got to be fast. With Gigabit Internet from Armstrong Business Solutions, you can keep up with the pack no matter what size your company is. We can provide your business a reliable connection to our advanced fiber optic network with speeds from 100 megs up to 10 gigs per second. Get your business in the fast lane. Armstrong Business Solutions. Your business is our business.
A chill in the air as our main event is a heartbeat away from commencing. And a lot of layers, a lot of backstory goes into this confrontation.
And coming to the ring by Corbin Bourne. Here's the challenger. He represents the culmination at 208 pounds. He's the Mind Eraser, Remy LeVay.
Corbin Bourne, the newborn of the culmination, leads in the Mind Eraser, Remy LeVay, the winner of the inaugural Bobcat Brawl, to earn a championship opportunity. Remy LeVay, at one point, looked to the New Age Plague Gory as a mentor and leader. As part of the culmination, the two of them have traveled to some 8 different U.S. states, spreading their infection, so to speak. But there's been some issues with that, stemming from any time the group is in the Pittsburgh area. We'll talk about in just a moment, but you see the determination in the eyes of Remy LeVay. Could be the biggest victory of his career if he catches the Pitt Fight Championship tonight.
And now introducing the defending Pitt Fight champion, out of Ogden March, weighing 175 pounds, here's the New Age Plague Gory.
Gory comes into this matchup much less than 100%. He's going into this matchup against Doctor's orders after being pushed off the top. Pushed through 2 different tables and suffering severe head injury. He's in here against Doctor's orders. I believe there's a series of internal damage as well. Gory is not well to compete, but he did not want to forfeit this Pitt Fight Championship under any circumstances. But bottom line, gentlemen, Gory's always said to the culmination, we were formed to infect the world elsewhere. Here in Pittsburgh, this is my home, says Gory. This is where I've come up since I was 16. This is my territory. I want to get it done on my own. Remy LeVay, Atticus Cogar, and now Corbin Bourne have not respected that, and a bit of a turf war has broken out over whether or not the culmination is welcome in the Pittsburgh area, and that's really been the spawn of this dissension between these two men that otherwise would be allies. Add to that the individual glory of the Pitt Fight Championship, and you have a most intriguing main event.
Yes, indeed. I mean, the backstory of this match stems a lot farther. I bet it's sad Atticus himself isn't here for the beating that Remy may give Gory here in this match.
Yeah, I think Atticus had intentions of being here, I know that, but I think maybe he found himself in his tool shed a little too late last night, making maybe a new lampshade or new jacket out of some of his victims, if you know what I mean. Atticus is a sick, sadistic individual with the body count to prove it, and that mindset translates through to Remy and through to Gory. And Remy knows the injury to Gory's skull. Remy helped cause it 3 days ago in Elizabeth.
I mean, it was all the weaknesses Gory has ever come to encounter, but Gory is also very opportunistic, as we see right here with the bite.
Yeah, Gory, always that animalistic thirst for flesh. Gentlemen, this entire night has been about goodwill, good nature, raising money for a great cause. We just did a raffle where the winner donated the winnings back to Connor's Cure, but Gory and Remy are thinking about anything but at this point. This is a personal issue that has run very deep. A nice takedown by the New Age Plague.
Both of these men extremely talented in their own right. Both have held championships. Both know the prestige that goes with the Pitt Fight title.
Oh! Amazing springboard by Gory, who is so great at using his body control as an offensive weapon. Gory's held championships everywhere he's been, and now looking to fly, but Remy and Corbin out of the way. Oh! Gory right to the side of the face of the mind eraser. Oh, look out! Corbin Bourne pulling down on the leg of Gory. And certainly no love for Gory in this situation. Remy winning this championship in his mind, gentlemen, as they get out digging into the head with the knuckles, and that bandage falls off. Guys, if Remy wins this matchup, in his mind, this proves that he's right about Gory this whole time.
Oh, you got to consider, though, that Gory is, like you said, he's wrestling against doctor's orders. So if anything, he's like handicapped himself during this match. If you beat someone who isn't 100%, what does that say about you?
That's, in Remy LeVay's eyes, that says he was right. It may be in reality that he's an opportunist, an unconscionable human being. But you try to tell Remy LeVay, someone as strong-willed as him, that he's wrong. He's been spitting the culmination dogma since this group was formed 3 years ago this month.
Yeah, I mean, the Culmination has always had a dark and sadistic sense of their in-ring ability. And I mean, to them, it's like kind of so what if they beat Gory at 100%. I mean, Corbin is out here for a reason, too. I mean, we got to take that into consideration as well.
I mean, if they cared about if he was 100% or not, they wouldn't have shoved him through 2 tables. They want to send a message to Gory, and that message is, you can't survive without us. You're being stubborn. You're being selfish. This is not about you. It's about us. And you see Corbin getting involved on the outside as well. Culmination want to prove that if Gory doesn't join them, they will destroy him. And it could happen tonight.
Gory, of course, not used to long odds, though, as he did win the Pitt Fight Championship in a fatal 4-way match with none other than Andrew Palas and the Gavel David Lawless, as we saw earlier tonight, as well as Bulk Nasty as well.
Absolutely. I mean, Gory is known for years for his resiliency, for his staying power, for playing through the pain. I mean, Gory has never been the biggest dog in the fight, but he's been in some of the wildest wars I've ever seen. Remy into the cover. To count only. My gosh. Everything Remy is done, it's been with malicious intent.
You have to argue, though, that in this case, the advantage is definitely to Remy at 100% of the time. But here,
backslide driving with the legs could have him. No.
Almost retained the title, looking to attempt again.
Inside cradle. Caught him again for 2. Gory, you can almost sense Gory is operating on desperation at this point, just trying to end this thing as quickly as he can. Another near fall.
I unfortunately don't think it's going to be that easy for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's wishful thinking, but Remy knows firsthand how tough Gory is. Gory knows firsthand how tough Remy is. And Remy elevates Gory. Now, hard right. And drapes Gory throat first on that top rope. And the official's been diverted, and watch Corbin Bourne on the outside. Oh. Corbin lurking ominously. Chose not to do anything. Now he is. Sending Gory back in, pleading innocence, as if anybody in a Culmination t-shirt can proclaim innocence.
Even the guy on the t-shirt doesn't look like he's innocent.
Oh, yeah, he'll tell you he is. Well, not anymore.
Oh, Gory looking to take advantage of anything given to him right now.
Yeah. And Gory reversed, and you can almost sense the pain shoot up the back of Gory.
You can just feel it on his face how excruciating all this must be for him.
Side slam nicely done. Shades of Dino Bravo by Remy LeVay. Into the cover. Could have it. Oh. half a count away, a brand new Pitt Fight champion. How would Remy LeVay representing Pitt Fight feel to you guys?
Well, Joe, I definitely feel like having a darker tone on Pitt Fight might scare newcomers away. But then again, you also have to consider the Rev, Ron Hunt, won a #1 contendership for the Pitt Fight Championship in the spring. So maybe we could have a darker tone for Pitt Fight for the rest of the semester, but in the spring that could change.
Cornell's jumping on that Jesus Club again, bandwagon again.
I'm just stating the facts.
Cornell, I have to disagree with you, though, because do we really want students on this campus spreading the culmination dogma across campus? Like, do we want this?
Oh, collision between Corbin and Remy. And Gory's got a chance, guys.
Gory trying to make a comeback here, trying to get the better of both men.
Gory putting his body on the line to take out both of these men.
The somersault senton splash connects. The culmination is down. Gory, does he have an opportunity?
You got to wonder if that hurt Gory more than it hurt those two.
Yeah, I mean, there's been no disqualifications here, no countouts, no cheap way out for anybody. Can Gory find a way to fight free, fight forward? Oh, went to spring in, which could have been ill-advised to begin with. Remy cuts him off at the pass.
Might be looking for a vertical suplex, and he nails it.
Into the cover. 2 count only.
Whoa. Those near falls are just getting closer and closer. You got to wonder what Gory has left to give in this main event here at Pitt Fight.
Well, I'm sure Remy's asking himself that same question. How much more is it going to take? And Corey gets the foot up. Gory looking to find a way. Hits the double knees. And oh, the no resistance clothesline.
Slingshots himself over the middle rope.
Yeah, that's all impact absorbed by Remy's body. Now in with a roll-up. Gory trying to get innovative here to work around his weaknesses, to work around the damage done. Up on the back of Remy.
Interesting form of offense seen here by Gory.
Oh my God, DDT nicely done.
Beautiful DDT into the cover, hooks the leg.
Gory's got him, no.
Near fall. You see those bandages starting to come off of Gory's back.
Just see the pain he's endured these past couple weeks at the hands of the culmination. All right there, scratching his skin.
Might be looking for the finish here. Oh my God, into a cutter.
Yeah, Remy used all of Gory's momentum and gravity against a new champion, though.
Again, we could be this close to crowning a new champion here at Pitt Fight Back to School Beatdown. It only takes 3 seconds for history to be made.
It's way faster than it takes me to eat a Subway sandwich.
You got a sponsor deal?
I mean, they are on campus.
Not yet, we don't.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
Work on it. You can afford that jet for me. Super kick by Gory. And Remy back with a sling blade. Remy could do this here. He's put guys away with us before. Is that going to be all? No. My God. You know, they say, guys, that they say that the ones that you love always hurt you the most. They say nobody fights quite like family. In many ways, this has been an extended dysfunctional family throughout the wrestling world that has had such a huge blow up here in the Pittsburgh area. You can sense the personal animosity. You can sense every bit of aggression between these two athletes. Only one can survive for the Pitt Fight Championship.
Exactly. I mean, these men grew together as a tag team. They found sicker and more twisted ways to terrify and destroy their opponents, and now they're using them all on each other.
And Gory fighting his way out of harm's way, but he couldn't break the grip. Now he does.
Fighting right on top of the skull of Remy LeVay. Kick to the midsection caught. Gory catches his kick. Knee right to the jaw.
Shows you how well both men know each other, how they can think on the fly. Gory trying to string together a combo. Nicely done. And it's Gory measuring Remy LeVay, QAS.
Got it. He hits it. Is this it? Is this it? It's over.
Got it. Gory has found a way to do it. The New Age Plague, with his first successful title defense, literally and figuratively exercising some of his most diabolical demons, Gory shows that even much less than 100%, he can do it on his own. He can stand on his own 2 feet as a man and a champion in the same city, the same state he's plied his trade in since he was 16 years old. And Remy LeVay may now have to realize perhaps the culmination doesn't have all the answers when it comes to what Gory should and shouldn't do.
Regardless here, we can both definitely say that Gory came away as the bigger man here.
Remy went to handshake, and Gory, I don't think
Wait,
it's
what the world is happening right here? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Peyton Graham is out here, and that's Christian Noir.
What is going on?
Noir says, Gory, wait, Peyton Graham. Peyton's got knucks. Peyton just knocked out Remy with knucks. Shades of the Bobcat Brawl and what Remy did to win. Peyton Graham said that he wanted a title opportunity. We saw him talking to Noir earlier, and apparently they're not going to wait for an opportunity. They're going to make their presence known. Well, this is not how we anticipated leaving the back-to-school beatdown. Peyton Graham and Christian Noir have completely decimated the culmination and our main event, and they put Pitt Fight on notice.
They definitely shown their power here. I did not expect this. I know Peyton Graham was angry about not getting a match with Remy, but I didn't think he'd stoop to these levels of low.
Well, Kyle, you have a lot of problems on your hand coming up, but Kyle Cornell, I'm Joe Dombrowski. It's been my pleasure to be a part of the back-to-school beatdown. Pitt Fight rolls on, but we got a whole new set of problems going forward.